everyone. Welcome to Babies with Knives. I'm one of your hosts, Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle, and I will be running Apocalypse Prevention Incorporated 2nd edition today. And this is going to be a game system very similar to AMP Year 1, if you're familiar with that game. Below me is Brandon Powers.
Me? Oh my god, I'm here? That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Let's prevent an apocalypse or cause it or... Yes, apocalypse now.
Who are you playing tonight, Brandon?
I'm going to be playing Claudia. I am, the game calls them a pattern. I am a designed individual. And so it is another one of our players' family that has made me. The wonderful Kevin Scarth. He comes from a group called Vermen. They are like tinkers, gadgeteers, and such, and so they designed a perfect humanoid for one specific function. But I'm really clueless in the wider world beyond that. So yes, I will be Claudia the Pattern.
Awesome. You and I like playing alienated types for some. And up on the next column, we have Aldo Regalado, co-writer of Super's Revised Edition. Hey, Aldo.
Hello. Good to be here as always.
Guys.
Well, who are you playing?
I am playing Dan DeFalco. He is late 40s former reporter who was always kind of like trying to do stories on strange happenings and occurrences in the occult, and nobody would listen to him. And one day he explored too far and got his arm ripped off by some horrible creature, but API saved him, gave him an bionic arm, and got whatever information he had gathered on that particular case, and then they offered him a new life as an agent. So he's very happy to be working with API now and being able to pursue the unknown lore that he had always been trying to pursue as a reporter.
Awesome.
And he's a human, yeah.
And at the bottom in the other column is Kevin Scarth. Hey, Kevin. And
hey guys, and I'm going to try my new joke out tonight, because if the Babies with Knives brought me in, and I guess that makes me the old man with the spoon.
We don't trust Grandpa anymore with the knives.
You don't. So, tonight I will be playing Rizzo, as Brandon said he is a vermin, or as I'll describe him, what if Skaven weren't so bad? He's kind of the team tech guy, inventor, but he also likes guns, cigars, and stealing cars.
There we go. So, does anybody want to recap quickly what happened in the previous session, or do we just want to go forward? It is episodic.
I got it if nobody else wants it.
Sure, Brandon, why don't you talk a little bit about what happened so people get an idea? It is episodic, so it doesn't relate, but...
Huh? What? Why am I in a 50s diner? The heroes asked. We found ourselves with not really a whole lot of idea what had happened and brought us here, but suddenly into a 50s diner where reality seemed to flicker in and out at times. We investigated, and as we investigated, whatever happened to us, our memories started to kind of come back a little bit at the time. We were initially sent to this town in California, and it's like Driscoll. Driscoll?
Yeah, Drescol.
Because I thought Driscoll strawberries when I heard it. But yes, we were investigating the town because people would go missing there, and it was a very small town and didn't look like it was really active anymore from like satellite imagery and such. And so we discovered a bunch of people that were kind of being held captive by this woman with a magical typewriter, or maybe she was magical. We don't have all the answers on it, but one way or another that the movies that she used to star in, that she kind of set things up in the town to be like those movies, to the point that, every little thing that you can imagine is stereotypical in a 1920s to 1950s style of movie, that it was there. And we had a really good time. We all got to see our characters do some cool stuff, explored in Alice's beautiful and crazy mind. And at the end, Aldo, with his cybernetic arm, was able to reach out and crush someone. I mean, crush something, not someone. And broke the typewriter, which helped break the spell. And I think we're on to our next assignment, having prevented that apocalypse.
Yes.
We'll call the last session Sunset Boulevard is reimagined by Tim Burton.
Awesome. I had a different name for the scenario, but I like yours. and I'm going to keep mine secret in case we ever return to revisit the character.
Do
So-
typewriters dream of electric sheep?
So, opening the curtain for today's episode, you guys are finding yourselves in Anchorage, Alaska, where there was recent reports by the media of an oil spill. And it is the summer here, so it's actually, muggy and pretty warm. In fact, it's getting so warm lately that, well, the ice is definitely receding faster and water levels are, uncomfortably high compared to what they have been in the past. But there was recent reports of an oil spill. And going back real quick, you guys remember being called into Mr. Z's office with the cigar smoke filling the room. And, I think I kind of picture him as being cast as Danny DeVito. And
Oh wait, Rizzo's Danny DeVito.
What I have for magical.
not Danny DeVito.
Oh, but but it's his voice. Is that?
No.
Oh, that's right. When
Not Danny DeVito then. The really short actor, really grumpy short actor, and then he plays in one movie like Brothers with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's Danny DeVito.
Oh, it is Danny DeVito? Okay.
You need a mortician, Alice. You need a mortician.
Okay,
yes,
sorry.
That's Danny DeVito.
I didn't think you were playing Danny DeVito. I'm sorry, Aldo. Because
No, that's not Aldo. Not Aldo.
No.
That's Rizzo.
Oh, that's
Rizzo.
Rizzo.
When
I'm sorry.
When we go out and about, rat men get to wear things that magically cloak my appearance, and then he looks like Danny DeVito.
I apologize. Never mind then. But anyways, he's the Mr. Z has his smoke-filled office, his cigar in his hand, piles of papers, and he calls you all in and he says, I got another one for you.
Another what?
Case. And he just looks past you at Dan.
I've cast him now. It's J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Can he have the Jonah look? The J. Jonah Jameson look, please?
I think that goes without saying, doesn't it?
That works. Pack your Eskimo suits. You're heading up to Alaska.
Oh, Alaska. All right. What's the deal this time?
Well, officially, it's an oil spill. But honestly, we don't know what's going on. Something about a local doctor going missing and coming out and things happening at night.
Things always come out at night. Different life forms exist at night.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
something like that. Like those old movies where those swamp things, those? Yeah, that's what's been coming out at night, or according to some people's statements. Something about an old lady walking down the street comes across a swamp monster. But officially, it's an oil spill. The USS Sarah was out there. It's a cargo ship that sometimes acts as a fuel ferry, and the oil on it spilled.
Right, and this happened before or after the strange sightings?
Oh, I thought you were the agent.
Well, do you have a file that I could look at? Jeez.
Yeah. Hold on. Somewhere around here. Hey, Rizzo, I think you're standing on it.
Ah.
Ah, dang it! And he starts, and his cigar lights up the edge of the corner of a file, and he's like starts stamping it out. Where did I put that? Yeah, that's the file, Rizzo. There you go.
All right. Thanks. Just have everything we need? Ask him.
Probably, maybe.
All
I
right.
don't know. Tickets are in there. I hope you enjoy flying cargo.
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
budget cuts, Okay. So, you take the file.
As we walk out, I think that perhaps we should remember the swamp gas story that we have used previously.
Yeah, it could come in handy again. All right.
So you take a look at that file.
Yeah, I'm gonna Well, I'm looking for location of the oil spill, timetable of the oil spill, timetable of the sightings, location of the sightings, the names of the people who reported the sightings, any details they have about the sightings. Maybe with the idea that we would go and interview some of those people. And then start, like he'll probably be on his device doing research on like any kind of lore, that exists in the area, dealing with similar things, maybe old Native American kind of legends, or old settler legends, or those sorts of things. So basically just triangulating on the details of the that are in the file, then branching out from there to try to find things that are relevant in some sort of way.
Absolutely. So, first thing you're going to find is that the oil spill occurred about a month ago. And being Anchorage, Alaska, it literally happened about quarter mile to a mile outside, off the shore of Anchorage, Alaska, which has not been great for the city. Given the location, media coverage has been spotty. It's there's the local coverage that then gets rebroadcasted across the nation and around the world, and there have been a few reporters that have been sent, but overall the coverage is pretty light. Nobody likes to go out there.
Was this spill like a from an oil drill, or had they loaded the oil onto a tanker and it, what? Yeah.
Reports say that the oil was loaded onto the USS Sarah, SERA. That is a cargo ship that travels, that mostly deals with fishermen's fish or other import exports that travel across the US. So they load it up there and they pilot the ship down south to California, Southern California, and oftentimes back up, but a lot of times that's where the travel is. The oil was from a drill out on the water, and it was loaded onto the ship for transport. And it was supposed to be transported to not quite Anchorage, Alaska. It was supposed to be transported elsewhere. And it stopped in Anchorage, Alaska to drop off some cargo, or that was the intention. A little ways offshore, something happened. What the people in the boat described, what people on the ship described, is that the ship suddenly felt like it hit something, and the next thing they know, started sinking. They managed to get everybody off the ship before the ship capsized, went sideways, and it is now currently mostly on the bottom of in the bottom of the water. However, because it actually was kind of close and the terrain underwater, if you go out and you know exactly where to look, you can kind of see where the water is kind of coming up and off of the tip of the ship that's pointed up.
Interesting.
And so it's kind of creating that, water is breaking off of it. And so you can kind of find where it is.
Great. One last question related to the spill. The drilling, the drill, it's an offshore drill.
It's
right?
an offshore drill about 30 miles out.
30 miles out. That's what I was going to ask, how far away it was. All right, cool beans. And then do the sightings start after all this happened, or have the sightings been going on?
The sightings started about 2 weeks after that happened.
Okay.
So, fast forward back to current time. You guys are getting off a cargo ship, cargo plane that you guys
he said he hoped we didn't mind going with the cargo. He really meant it.
Yep. He put you guys on a cargo plane. Budget cuts, apparently. It was not a very comfortable ride. Getting out of the plane, you guys feel stiff and uncomfortable because, while military and certain other types of people are more accustomed to traveling that way, your group is not. And so you're stiff, you're feeling a little wonky, your legs aren't quite settling beneath. And you haven't had a good meal in a good 16 hours. You guys have had little bits of snacks on there, but it isn't exactly, first class service on the cargo flight.
Dan,
Yeah.
who is it that has been cutting the budget, and should we pay them a visit?
I don't think we could peg that down. That's a bureaucratic mess.
Yeah. Just
We'd
a
have to
bunch of-
get through Z first, and I don't know. That just gives me a headache.
Yeah, just a bunch of bean counters, Claudia. Bean counters.
Yeah.
I think that I could take him.
I was so sad when John wasn't gonna show because I totally had this idea in my head to do this to you guys, and I figured he would have the perfect answer. So you guys are, after 16-hour uncomfortable flight with no food, where are you guys gonna go? What are you guys gonna do?
What time is it?
It is about 9 in the morning. 9 in the
right.
morning.
Why don't we get coffee? And you know what? I don't want to go to a diner. Why don't we let's get something to eat.
Isn't there
And
like an IHOP everywhere in this bloody country?
yeah.
Not that I like that, but at least it's familiar.
Yeah.
There are
that's
many
fine.
pancake houses of different types spread throughout the United States and beyond.
So
Yeah, well, we only need the closest one to us in Anchorage. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go eat pancakes or waffles
sure.
and then sit down, open up the file and start looking at how many people. I mean, what do you guys think? Interviewing people who saw the sightings first,
Yeah, that's
get a sense of where they saw it and then go from there.
Yeah, there, and then see if we can track that back to the spill.
Yeah.
So as we're sitting down at IHOP, are we there, by the way?
Yeah, you're there.
All right.
You're there.
We don't get jumped on the way.
Nope.
After our last encounters in California, I have been doing research. Are we suffering another hangover? Because this, I have been told, is hangover food. Many people go to pancake houses when they have the hangover.
This is a true thing, but no, we're not having a hangover. Hangover would have been preceded by a good time, and sitting in that cargo plane was not a good time.
No.
So this
Right.
IHOP, it's very run down actually. It's not very well kept. It's kind of dark and dingy, and you're pretty certain there's a couple years worth of food still stuck on this table that hasn't been wiped off.
Gross.
This reminds me of what the diner looked like after you broke the typewriter.
Yep. Yep.
And,
Just thinking, it reminds me of Mom.
and it probably doesn't surprise you that you guys are currently the only customers.
You should go see your mother. She spoke about you and said that it had been so long since her son came by to see her, even though she slaved all day long to make certain that you'd have a good life, making the wrong decisions for yourself.
Yeah,
Rizzo, you never call your mother anymore.
I got her a card on Mother's Day.
A
and a nice
cod.
wheel-
You
and
call that
nice
a
wheel of
cod?
cheese.
You call that a cod? The cod smelled like cheese. You're supposed to get your mother some real cheese, not cod cheese.
Well,
Well,
what-
wheel of cheese, Mom? Jeez.
What she did say was
Bernie probably got to it first, that little.
you got her a card, not the car, so you just add things on.
Well, she doesn't like the way I get cars. I've been told that many times.
Mm.
But yes, I do think that interviewing people and finding out what they have witnessed could be helpful.
then-
Mhm.
At about this point, the waitress comes back and just kind of tosses the plates in front of you, not caring who ordered what, sighs and walks back behind the counter and starts playing with her phone.
Jeez.
Is she young? Is she old?
She's young. She looks like this is like, an after school job kind of thing. And you guys are here on a Saturday, so,
I'm sorry, are you having trouble, miss? I get up and walk over to her.
Oh, jeez.
Trouble?
I learned a long time ago. They just
Oh
don't-
my gosh, he really said that about me?
Who said what? Should we help?
This boy I like in school, he totally just dissed me. He just told my best friend that I am a terrible kisser.
You're not supposed to kiss boys, I've been told.
Oh, he's like hurting. He's like,
And she just kind of turns her side to you and she continues playing with her phone.
Do we need to go meet with this boy and teach him a lesson?
Yes, you should. She actually pays attention to you again. You should teach Tommy not to treat anyone like that. I am going to...
I am engaging with her. The two of you are off to do brain things. This is common for me. When I see people, I have the lifesaver flaw. So basically, I have to make mental resistance checks or help people. So basically, as soon as I see people, like, she's obviously having a bad day as far as I understand it, I have to go and find out what's wrong. Plus, I'm not supposed to eat that kind of food.
And I thought he was going to ask me out after what he did. Now he's not even... And now I'm hearing my best friend Cheryl. She's gonna go out with him. And she just tosses her phone on the counter, angry.
Well, one does not buy the cow when one gets the milk for free.
Are you calling me fat? You heard him. I should have spit in her food.
You do have a higher concentration of body weight than I do. Please, brain things, guys. Come on.
So the two of you, I'm going to deal with the two of you. What are you two doing?
Why would we do this when Rizzo is being so entertained by what's going on?
Well, how many sightings were there? 2, 3, 10?
We'll say 3. There were 3 sightings.
3.
Of small things.
All right. So do we have like the names and addresses of the people who made the reports?
Yeah, you do. All 3 of them. Actually, make me an intelligence, and let me open my character sheets again. But make me an intelligence and what check?
Knowledge, perception.
Yeah, it'd be an intelligence. Actually, no, it'd be an insight perception.
Insight perception. All right.
Or empathy is another option, depending on how you're going with it.
It's a 29.
29.
You go, guy.
You realize all 3 of these residents, one of them is a bed and breakfast, the other 2 are homes, and all 3 of them are near the coastline.
And close to each other?
About 6 to 8 blocks from each other.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, this makes things easier. He kind of like circles the all the locations on a map.
I am sorry. I think that the problem perhaps is you. You have problems with every male that you have mentioned so far. I have other things to attend to. What's interesting?
Well, we've got a pretty tight range to operate in here. Only about 6 to 8 blocks. So whatever this is, it's, well, we can ask around, not just the people who reported, but other people may have seen something as well.
Dan did some high-end triangulation. You look at that map.
So we are to hit the streets and teach them a lesson?
I think we start with the, I think we don't have anybody to teach any lessons yet, but I think we start with the people who saw something and then go from there. It's all close to the shore as well. So,
which location are you guys going to head to first? The one of the 2 residents or the bed and breakfast?
Let's go to the bed and breakfast.
Okay.
I figure they have more people there, so maybe more opportunity for sightings.
Sure. So you guys drive out to the coastline where the bed and breakfast is, and the bed and breakfast overlooks the that didn't go through sound. The bed and breakfast overlooks the harbor, and it's a beautiful sight normally. But today you look out into the water, and what you see instead is this. It is oil, and it is the kelp. You know how when you're on a beach, you see the kelp wash up on shore? And the kelp is so covered in oil that they look like tentacles. It's kind of disturbing on that. And this is all across the field of vision that you have, all across your field of vision. And the tentacle-like kelp covered in oil actually comes all the way up to the white picket fence of this bed and breakfast, where the little sign stands up just in front of the picket fence.
Is this where we are to stay? This looks nice than where we are normally, especially after the budget cuts.
I'll bet you we can get a deal on a room. Yikes, this is not good for business. Looks at the mess.
So you go up there and you knock on the door, and there's no answer.
Try the door. Hello? Try to open it.
You try the door is locked. The curtains on the door in the window are closed. The curtains on the windows are also pulled closed. And I've also now shown people the way that the tentacles look, and everybody in our audience can now see it.
Okay.
So,
Should we sneak around the back again? That worked well last time.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we look around, get around back?
and the sign in the window does say open. It's got a little, a little old school, you buy in the hardware store kind of open, close sign.
Mm-hmm.
And it is flipped to open. There's the curtains behind it. You're gonna go around to the back?
Mm-hmm.
Start just looking around the property and such.
Sure. So
I watch out for small children that are going to blow our cover.
okay. Moving around to the back, you actually see a woman, probably in her 60s to 70s. Her hair is almost entirely gray, and she has a set of headphones on, and she's got gardening gloves on, and she's using a spade. She seems to be tending to a garden in the back.
Hello, miss.
Ah! She jumps, startled by you, and she she pulls the headphones off, puts it around her neck, and she gets up, cleans her hands off, and takes her glove, and she says, sorry, I must have lost track of time. You here to stay?
Yeah, we were thinking about it, yeah.
Well, I didn't expect anyone. I don't think anyone has any reservations right now. Please come in. Excuse the mess. And she kind of, blushes a little. I didn't expect any company. I'm Daisy.
Don't worry about it.
Isn't it the tourist season?
Oh, I wish it was. No, it's you guys, by the way, it's getting summer. It is, like I said, hot and muggy, and it is bugs everywhere. Bugs everywhere. No, I'm afraid it hasn't been tourist season around here for a while. But come on in. I'll set you up with the best rooms in the house. I'm Daisy, by the way.
Good to meet you, Daisy. I'm Dan. This is Claudia. This is Rizzo. By the way, is Daisy the name of the person who made the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the three of you certainly seem odd to be traveling as a family.
We are not odd. We are normal.
Well, I'm guessing you're here to sightsee, or is it for business?
Yes.
Actually, we're here covering this. I'm a reporter for a magazine, and we're here to cover what's going on here.
And to find the solutions for it, right?
Yeah.
Blue Moose Oils really should be cleaning it up, but I swear the oil's been getting worse, not better. I've seen a couple of their people out there on the water, but I don't think they're doing anything to clean it. I hope you put that in your report.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. That's what we're here for, to get kind of like the local angle, get the real word out there. None of that fake news that's flying around.
Hmm. Well, oh yes, the fake news. That is such a problem these days. Our leadership is trying to teach us how to spot fake news. I heard.
Yeah,
It's
right.
that internet,
That's right.
I tell you. That internet's the problem. See, I just stick with my good old tapes. My good old tapes. Those will never fail me. But that internet and all this Wi-Fi and all this weird Napster business, it messes with your head.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That music, yeah, that music, it's not even music anymore. The good old-fashioned tapes, that's where it's at.
That's right.
Rizzo, is she talking about your cousin Jerry? Because they call him Napster sometimes.
Probably not, but you never know.
Well, come in. You must be hungry. You all travel far?
Yeah. We try. I don't even know where API is located.
Yeah, far enough, anyways.
Far. Yeah.
Well, you were on a 16-hour flight from wherever you last were at.
We flew the steerage.
Steerage?
With the cargo, the luggage.
She looks a little shocked. Well, I know that the planes coming up here have been kind of infrequent lately, but I'm sorry you had to fly with cargo, ma'am. Why don't you come on in and take a load off? Let's get you all some food. You look like you could use a little meat on your bones. She points at Claudia.
Oh,
Your skin and bones, dear. Skin and bones.
Oh no, my percentages are thoroughly calculated. They are ideal.
And she continues talking to you guys, and she points you guys towards the living room for the guests, and she continues to head towards the kitchen. If you guys choose to follow her or not, it's up to you.
He probably would. If she's chattering, he'd probably follow her and just make small talk with her, just to get a sense of the type of things she's saying. And then, eventually he will ask her. He will build up to asking her about, what she saw. But he's letting her small talk for now.
Yeah, she told me where to go sit, so I did.
Okay.
And he'll help her too. Like if she's pulling off stuff from shelves and stuff, he'll he'll kind of like make himself helpful.
Sure. And by the way, as for her ethnicity, she is definitely the old dark-skinned Native American Alaskan in heritage. And so when you start helping her and all, she pulls out some smoked fish. And along with that smoked fish, she pulls out a very strange jar that kind of looks like meat butter.
Meat butter.
Yeah,
I don't know that I would identify meat butter just by.
Okay, it's more looks like a better way to describe it is that the layer of fat on a pork belly, and it's just that, and it's cut up into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And so she asks you.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he'll be that. That looks interesting. He'll pass it to her.
Okay, and so she pulls it. She opens it, and oh, it does not smell good. It smells like it's been thoroughly fermented. But she takes a piece of that and she puts it in a pot and she starts to render it, and it reeks. If you'd like, you can make a knowledge check, int and knowledge for it.
Int and knowledge. Let's see. Yeah, he might care. Let's see.
I am skill deficient in my meat butter knowledge.
He is too distracted by the reeking scent to probably make it. He rolled a it was not. It's a 10. Yeah, it's a 10 total.
Okay.
Rizzo, that might be really good for Rizzo.
I was actually going to say, Rizzo, even in the living room, you smell this, especially with your keen sense of smell. Yeah. You definitely smell this, so you can also make me a check.
22.
22. That smells like whale fat. Fermented whale.
Whale fat.
And it might be something that's actually very appealing to you. It's kind of like a stinky cheese. It's a bit of an acquired taste.
A lot of food possibilities open up when you get past the gag reflex. So my mom said.
And yeah, she cracks some eggs into that rank-smelling fat, and she cuts up some smoked fish and prepares a little platter of food. And you come and you help her bring it out, and she's brewed some tea and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And she brings out some toast, and she says, enjoy. Like I said, I didn't expect guests, so this is what I have in the pantry right now. It's not as fancy as we try and serve our guests, but I'll make sure that it reflects on your bill. I'll give you all a discount.
Perfect. Thank you. You're very gracious. You're very gracious. Listen, you grew up around here, right? You're a local?
73 years, dear.
So you know what should be here and what shouldn't be here.
Absolutely. My grandma built this house and passed it to my mother before me, and when my mother passed, she passed it on to me. I turned it into a little bed and breakfast since, well, I'm gonna be the last to keep this in the family.
Well, listen, you're exactly the type of person then that we should be talking to. Some of our sources say that there's some strange goings on here, not just an oil spill, but that there's been some unexplained sightings. And I don't know, it's hard for me to tell if that's just a bunch of conspiracy theory or that's do you think there's any truth to that sort of thing?
She looks at you and she says, look, I don't want any trouble.
Well, if you're worried about, your name being attached to anything, to tell me, I promise you, my dear, that is not going to be at issue here. We're interested in the truth. We're not interested in jamming up people who would tell us the truth. So you've got my word of honor on that.
I don't know.
Can I make a persuade?
Yeah, make your persuade.
Charm.
Yes, charm and persuasion.
Persuade. Okay.
Charm and persuasion. 17
on the die plus 14.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Woo, Nelly.
Well, you're gonna think I'm crazy. I mean, Nick and everybody down at the police station, they're laughing at me. So, but I swear.
I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be laughed at for having unpopular beliefs. Trust me. You don't have anything to worry about from me.
Well, and
Nick doesn't know what he's talking about.
And you said my name won't be attached to it.
Not at all. I can promise you that.
Well, then I'll tell you. About 2 weeks ago, I was upstairs. I was settling down for the night, and I heard some weird noises outside. I thought they were just seals trying to get out of the oil. But it didn't sound right. There were clashing sounds, and so I looked out my window, and you won't believe what I saw. It was like one of those old-time horror movies where creatures come out of the swamp. It looked like it had these. It was just covered in, I don't know what. I mean, I guess you could say it was the oil, but it was a blob walking. I'd almost say sliding across the ground, and it had tentacles all over, hanging from its body.
And it came out of the water. How far is the water from, if we look out, like, how distant is the water?
I don't know where it came out of. I just know that when I looked out, kind of looks like all those, I mean, I shook it off. I mean, it's probably just some person, Nick's right down at the station. I mean, it was probably just someone that got caught in the mud and the kelp, and they were just probably covered in that.
All right. Well, maybe not. So this thing just shambled
genuinely
past your...
embarrassed that she even thinks there's something weird.
So this thing just kind of shambled by your field of vision and then just kept
shambled.
Going?
That's a good word. Yeah. I lost sight of it pretty quick. Like I said, all I saw was outside my bedroom window. I live up there. Second
It
floor.
didn't notice you.
I don't think it did.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for trusting me enough to tell me that.
Hey, if you do see Steve around, he might be able to tell you more about the oil spill, but no one's seen him in about, well, I'd say a while. A few weeks.
2 weeks?
When did I last see him? She thinks about it. And again, she's a 73-year-old lady. And I'm not saying that all of them, she just can't seem to place. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't know.
Anyway, who is Steve? Why would he be able to tell me about the oil spill?
Oh, he was the XO on the USS Sarah.
Oh.
Captain apparently went down with the ship, but he made it off. All right. He spends some time in Anchorage whenever they're docked here. He likes it here. I think he has a daughter up around here somewhere.
Huh, all right. Do you know where she lives and what her name is?
I'm afraid not. I don't know Steve all that well.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for this delicious meal.
So, question, how many of you are going to partake in all the food?
Nope. I don't eat food.
He is going to partake out of, he doesn't know how it's going to taste, but yes, he's going to partake, whether he likes it or not, out of respect for her.
Sure.
So.
What about you, Rizzo?
Rizzo tucks right in.
Okay. Rizzo, you're going to have no problem with the food, but Dan, do you believe your character would have a gag reflex the first time it tries something like durian or something weird like that?
Not necessarily. I don't picture him being particularly squeamish about food. I mean, it could be that there would be something that would cause that reaction in him inadvertently, but it would be a surprise to him if he had that reaction.
Okay, well, it definitely tastes better than it looks and smells, or it tastes better than it smells. And the first bite isn't so pleasant, but as you keep eating, it gets more pleasant. It becomes very interesting. It is kind of, got that funk of that umami funk to it and such, and so it adds an interesting flavor to the foods it's cooked with. Brandon, I believe you had something you wanted to ask.
When they are finished, I look up at her and I say, "Don't worry, Daisy. I heard from Rachel that Nick is a damn liar and that he has been screwing around with both Sonia and Karen and still has Denise on the side."
She looks at you so confused. I think your friend here might have a screw or two loose. It must be that internet, I tell you. It's that internet, that Napster. You really shouldn't let girls her age listen to that stuff. That stuff is absolute garbage. It'll wash your brain of anything useful. Dear, I will go get you one of my Walkmen. You will listen to some real music, dear.
I have 2 men that walk with me regularly, but I merely wish to reassure you, since you were saying that Nick did not believe your story. Well, Nick is a damn liar. Rachel told me so, and that he has been screwing around with Sonia and Karen and still has Denise on the side.
Oh, okay, dear. She thinks about this, and then she, she doesn't think anything of what you're saying, and then she's thinking and thinking. She goes, "Wait, you're saying Nick's cheating on his wife, his poor pregnant wife?"
I believe that is what Rachel was telling me, yes.
Rachel who?
At the diner. At the Algonquin House of Pancakes.
Okay. Maybe we were thinking of two different Nicks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps that your Nick is also a damn liar.
Awesome. So, you guys finish the food. Daisy definitely looks a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that you don't eat. She's gonna try and get you to eat. Don't you like fish? I can go. I have fresh vegetables from the garden. I can go wrestle you up some vegetables.
Oh, I am on a
I didn't
very
realize you're a vegetarian.
I am on a very strict diet of limited specific quantities of nutrients. I have a beverage for that. It provides me everything that I need to do to make it through the day and keep my body at optimal peak efficiency.
Oh, sweetheart, a little extra hip never hurt.
Perhaps not the way that you use your hips.
All right, so I think we're gonna go and thank you so much. He's gonna stand up and wipe his mouth. I think we're gonna go and find Steve's daughter.
Okay.
We'll be back before nightfall probably.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
kid,
just make sure that you do come back before nightfall. With the oil spill and everything going on, I've been just being a little extra careful. I lock things up at nightfall.
Good tip. Thank you, Daisy. Very thoughtful. Very wise.
So I've been trying to sleep with my headphones on these days to not let strange things bother me so much. So I won't even hear if you come up.
Okay. The Walkman, I hope.
Yes, the Walkman. And
all right, good.
And she says, "Oh, Claudia, wait before you go." And she takes off her Walkman. I have another one upstairs, and she hands you her Walkman.
What does it do? It does not seem to be very proficient at walking.
I'll explain it to you, kid.
Oh, okay.
Also, Claudia, we've talked about this before. You don't got to stick to that diet that those other idiots in my family put you on. We've talked about it. You live a little, try a few things.
I was told that if I am on a different diet, I will get fat and begin to fall apart like everybody else in this damn world.
Billy Joel is on the tape.
Yeah, Billy Joel.
Who is this piano man? Perhaps he needs help. It sounds like many people in the bar that he is at do have problems that we could assist with.
That's why they've come to see the piano man. He helps them.
So where are you?
It's aspirational.
Yes. So where are you guys heading now?
Make certain.
Hey kid,
make
by the way,
certain not to inhale food while you're eating. It is bad for your lungs.
By the way, kid, you shouldn't be spreading that dirty laundry around the way that you were. All that stuff that Rachel told you, that's just going to make people. You're going to save the world and ruin the community if you keep doing that.
Okay. Are you saying that Rachel is not to be trusted? I've worried that as I talked with her. She had problems with every male that she spoke of. And the list of women that were trying to steal her damn man was very long.
Yeah. I wouldn't put much stock in any of that.
Okay. What is your plan for your next move?
All right, folks, what do you think? Do we interview the other two people that saw something and then try to find Steve's daughter, or do you guys want to approach it a different way?
Either way, I mean, Steve's daughter. Steve sounds like a good lead. We can go that way, but I'd like to get other perspectives too. So,
yeah. All right. We're only a couple of blocks away from the other people, so let's do them. In the meantime, he's going to be like walking on his device, looking to see if he can find the name of the full name of the XO on the USS Sarah.
Sure.
So he gets at least the last name. And
as we are walking and such, and Aldo's paying attention to that and all, I drop back a little bit with Rizzo, and I go, Rizzo, Are my clothes dirty? Dan was just telling me not to take my dirty laundry everywhere.
Your clothes are fine. By dirty laundry, he means sometimes people share stuff that you shouldn't share with others. You put two people in a room together, one of them will start complaining about somebody else. That's just human nature, I find. It's good. Listen, but don't always share what you heard.
You don't want me to tell you what your family speaks of you anymore, do you?
No, you can tell me. I'm well aware of what my family thinks of me, Claudia.
Okay.
Nah, that's fine. See, if you want to get it off, if that gets it out of your system, do it to me. Amazing. Awesome. Just not with strangers, huh?
I understand.
So you guys are walking towards the address, and Aldo, you find that the last name for Steve is Steve Harper. And as you guys are walking on the walking towards the second house, you notice that the oil is definitely high up, and the kelp just that I was showing you guys, the description of that kelp and such, it's also very close to the property. In fact, you know, you kind of wonder how it got quite this close. And as you start walking up towards the steps of the property, you get kind of mired in some of that oil and gunk to try and just get onto the property. I'd like you guys to make me just a quick agility athletics check, all of you.
Uh-oh. You found my fatal weakness. Let's see. Let's see. Wow. If I could just...
Apparently your dice are scared of making this roll.
I know. Hold on, let me roll a different one because that one.
I rolled pretty bad, so I'm at 22.
You're at 22, you're fine.
I rolled a 15 on the die plus 5, so
Oh my.
20.
Okay.
I'm in the middle at 21.
Oh my, you guys are all fine. But you guys do notice Aldo's being in the back. This happens to you. At one point you're walking up and your ankle just gets caught in some of these weeds or kelp or whatever they are, but it kind of just wraps around your ankle, leaving this black gunk, and you manage to shake it off before it trips you.
Okay, yeah. Gross. Jeez. Did it just get on my pants or did it get on my skin? Or just my pants and shoe?
It would be just your pants and shoe, probably. Or maybe your socks, even.
All right. Ugh. Gross.
But it did not get on your skin.
Hey, this doesn't seem right, does it? It's I mean, tide doesn't come up here.
No.
Why? How the heck did this get here? Maybe it was Sigmund the sea monster dragging it up here.
Leads a little bit of credence to the story we just heard.
Mm-hmm.
And you go up to the house, and how do you guys approach the house?
Well, carefully up the, now that, he doesn't want to get mired in more oil. If that looks likely coming up to the front, he might not go up. But if he thinks he can make his way up there without getting more mired and stuff by being careful, then he'll go up to the front door and knock.
Yeah, you think you could. But you go up there and you give it a knock. No answer.
Predictable. Try the lock. Try the door.
You start trying the door, and yeah, it's unlocked. Open. Locked.
Open the door silently. Try to be stealthy about it.
Roll your stealth.
All right. Let's see. That would be, am I using agility?
Agility.
Here?
Yep. Agility and stealth.
Okay. I rolled, that's cocked. I rolled bad. I rolled a 3 on the die plus 11. So it's 14.
Okay. 14. So, there's a little bit of a sound, but not much. You were able to open the door. Most people probably couldn't hear it, but when you're super, super careful, any little bit of sound, you're hyper aware of. That's kind of what you're dealing with right now. But yeah, you open the door. Inside, you find a straight-on hallway. The house is pretty old style. I forget what era this would be, but you have a very closed-off building set, and so it's a narrow hallway directly in front of you with a staircase at the end of that, going up along one side, and there's a narrower, kind of used past to something probably like a pantry or storage area. To your left and right are open doorways.
Okay. It's gonna. I assume there are no lights on in there.
No lights on,
So-
and there is a rug runner going down the hall, and there is also a tiny little end table near the door, where people would drop their keys and stuff like that.
All right. He's gonna turn on his cell phone light and kind of scan the floor to see if he sees any Sigmund the Sea Monster footprints.
Sure.
And then, or anything else, right? And then after he checks the floor, he'll kind of like point the light down the halls a little bit and into the rooms.
There's definitely some oil footprints on the rug.
Check it out. Coming in or out?
You would guess, oh, sorry, you can see that. They both come in and out. And they all end, you see that it turns to the right doorway, and that's where, you generally see them go.
Looks at you two. And then he'll,
Yeah, I said, lead on, boss.
Okay. You guys head into the right, and you find boots sitting lined up along the wall just inside the doorway. Seems to be a laundry room, and definitely seems to be where the where the oil prints land, go in and out of. The boots seem to match up.
Okay.
This person has a lot of dirty laundry.
Yep, sure does, he's gonna say. And he'll actually search through the laundry, see if he can find any clues, right? I don't expect necessarily that they'll be, but you never know what might be on somebody's clothing or what they might have dropped out of their pocket or whatever.
Sure. Make me an insight and make me an insight and a knowledge
Perception?
check. Yeah, perception's a good one.
Perception, yeah. I think that's what goes.
Perception.
And I have, for what it's worth, I think it's Cluehound.
Ooh.
That goes with. It goes with. It's with perception. Yeah, it's a
cool.
Perception.
What does Cluehound do for those of our audience who don't know what Cluehound is?
I actually don't remember. I don't have the book in front of me right now.
Okay, sure.
I can open that. But
no problem. Why don't you make me the roll of insight and perception, and I will go look up Cluehound again.
Okay, I rolled an 18 on the die.
Okay.
Plus 16, because I have +2.
When searching a room for some piece of information, the required time may be halved by adding +5 to your difficulty.
So before I tell you if you succeeded or not, would you have taken the +5?
Would I have taken the +5?
Yeah. Are you trying to go?
Cost? Well, is there any cost to taking it?
So if you want to have the time of your search, you take a +5 to the DC.
Oh no, we're not in a crunch situation, so he'll just take his time.
Okay.
So he rolled a 35 total.
Okay. The insight that you get from the laundry here is that this house seems to belong to, there's a male, clothes for an adult human male, clothes for an adult human woman, and there are clothes for a baby. Laundry for a baby. And the clothes look like basically, that the baby is relatively newborn, diapers, probably under 2 years old, because all the adult clothes have spit up and bodily fluids that shouldn't be on clothes, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Everything's also all very dried on at this point. Like, basically the laundry's been sitting here for quite some time without being pre-treated or handled.
Okay. Any of it with oily marks on it?
Yeah, some of it.
Male or female clothing?
Both.
Both. Baby clothing with oil?
Yes.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That's what you find in that.
Hey, Alice, do they have a personal computer?
You can start searching the house for it, by all means.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your insight and I think insight and perception, right? Onto the list again. There we go on the sheet. Make me insight. Actually, yeah, insight and perception, or IQ and perception. Actually, IQ.
In that case, 21.
Okay. Insight actually probably worked better, but
18.
18. Okay. Yeah. You start climbing around up the stairs and such like that. You find in one of the bedrooms upstairs that there is a computer. The computer definitely looks like it's from 10 years ago rather than a modern computer. In fact, the computer is still using a box monitor and not an LCD flat screen, so that's even older. It's more like 15 years old on that. But the computer itself that's hooked into it seems more about 10 years old.
It still looks like it's seeing use, right?
Yes. Oh, it's seeing use today or recently, you mean?
Well, yeah, it's not sitting there like covered in dust and like a paperweight.
No,
Like
it's
they
not a
actually
paperweight.
use it.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Dan is doing his search. I will see if I can get in here and find anything useful.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
I think that's tech, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is tech and IQ in this case. You're going to try and break into it. And you boot it up and you hear the Windows 7 startup sound and a big Windows 7 across your screen.
Okay, 25.
25, okay. Well, it is password locked, but you go into the BIOS and you bypass it and you create yourself a secondary account, and you get in.
Okay, and I will start just surfing for information about the topics we're looking at. Anything on the oil spill, any complaining things. Did someone snap a picture and send in their computer of Sigmund the Sea Monster? Stuff like that.
Okay, are you looking on the internet or are you looking for their browser history? What exactly?
Yeah, I'll start with their browser history and personal files. I will leave the internet alone. I can get there on my own.
Okay. For their personal content, it looks like the computer hasn't been accessed in about a week and a half, about 8 days, 9 days at least. There is actually, you open up the email and you notice some ticket confirmations for plane tickets to Florida.
Okay.
And this was apparently something that was forwarded to their phone, but also emailed. This kind of stuff gets email redundancy over to their email. So about 9 days ago, they have 3 tickets to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. All right. Nothing else of interest as I poke through?
Actually, about 10 or 11 days ago, there was some search history about sea monsters and about oil spills and hallucinogens, about what the poisonous nature of oil spills and the harmfulness to a baby, oil spill and autism and what you should know to prevent that in your baby, anti-vaccine, why you shouldn't vaccinate because oil from this kind of stuff gets into the vaccinations, that kind of things. It's kind of a dirty little rabbit hole.
That's fine. I will close up, remove the tracks of my being here, and come down and share what I found out with Dan.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's actually comforting. I was hopefully they made it to Florida.
Yeah, hopefully they got on the plane. I don't know if they did, but
yeah.
Make me an insight perception check as you're leaving that bedroom.
Okay.
As you're leaving that office, actually. One of the bedrooms was a home office. 20 even on that home office, sure. Yeah. You notice basically that if they seem to have left in a hurry, they kind of, opened up the drawers and they just kind of grabbed stuff out, but they never closed the desk drawer completely. And looking at it around, you notice that, well, some of the picture frames are knocked over, but like other ones that look like there were, dust markings around where they would be sitting, those were grabbed. And so it looks like they kind of left in a hurry, packed a few things and just got out of there.
So it looks like they were bugging out.
Bugging out, yes.
All right.
And the family's name you find in the stuff that this house belongs to Zeke and Manny Thompsons.
Okay.
Zeke and Maggie Thompson. Okay. All right. Well, probably give the rest of the house a quick go over. Just say we did. If there's nothing else of note, at what time of day is it?
At this point, by the time you finish searching, it'll be afternoon.
Yeah, late afternoon or early afternoon?
Early afternoon. You guys left
Okay.
left the lady's house about 10 or 11, about 11. And so, it'd be probably 1 p.m. right now. You guys are taking your time searching, so maybe 2 p.m. Brandon,
Okay.
they're going to be here for 2 to 3 hours, taking their time. So what are you doing during this 2 to 3 hour period?
I would like to, by all means, look around and search the house as well with them.
Sure. Okay. So why don't you guys make me some insight perception checks? Well, the two of you already have. Brandon, why don't you make me one?
Sure. Is this eyesight based?
Yes, this would be eyesight based.
Okay, so 9, 14, 16.
16. Okay.
No, that's my modifier.
Oh, okay.
So that is a 33.
Okay. So while you guys are all searching the rest of the house, you guys do find that there is an attic to this house. You guys do find that there seems to be a crawl space basement. It's not quite a full basement, but it's a crawl space basement. And it's one of those crawl space basements that leads into the outside world. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what else you find.
Is there anything exciting or dangerous in the crawl space?
If you're going into the crawl space, you will note who's going into the crawl space, actually.
I am going into the crawl space.
Okay. Brandon, you go down there, and there's oil. There's that oil spill all over this place. And you actually, it smells pretty icky down here. And what you find is that. You
Waiting
find,
to
and to describe it to our audience, I'm not going to show the picture. It basically looks like it's a small animal, as far as you can tell, Brandon, or once was, covered in oil. And,
evil platypus that's coated in its evil!
And actually, you and I need to roll initiatives, and you are literally, basically, like I said, you're in a crawl space.
That's what you guys hear.
You're in a crawl space.
I was half expecting you to find Klaus Kinski.
Did you guys see the picture? Did the rest of you see the picture?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Oil-covered small animal.
Hang on, I'm flipping over. Hang on.
Okay.
I gotta see this.
And Brandon, what is your initiative, please?
I am there. No, I'm good with that. All right. Where's Init on this sheet again? There.
Init is
11, 28.
28. Okay. You're gonna go first. Why don't the other two of you roll me initiatives as well?
Okie dokie. Initiative is where again? There it is.
Bottom left combat box.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And as you're moving around, crawling in here, Brandon, more of that kelp that I was mentioning is definitely down here as well. Okay?
Okay.
And what about you, Aldo? What's your initiative?
My initiative is 15.
Okay, Aldo is 15. And what about you, Mr. Rizzo?
17.
Okay, 17. Rizzo is 17. Brandon, you are at the top of the init. I'm certain you're not surprised. As for what you see or what might trigger this initiative, you're not certain, but you think some of that kelp is moving. But, maybe it's you crawling and pushing around against it, but you definitely, you think that maybe some of that kelp is moving, and you kind of, your preternatural instincts of super combat monger kind of kick in, like something is not right here. Plus, that creature.
So this creature is moving and doing what to me?
This creature, it against that oil, it kind of looks like it's moving, but you're not actually seeing eyes moving or opening or any physical movement. But that thing is creepy as bleep, and the kelp is definitely sticking the hairs up on the back of your neck down here.
So it's not doing anything. It's just creepy.
No, it's
All
not.
right, I'm leaving.
You're leaving. Okay.
I'm getting out of that crawl space.
Okay. So you're gonna, you get out of that crawl space. He comes up and he's just covered, or she is just covered in oil from, like chin down, because she kept her head up a bit, but like chin down, her clothes are just, ugh. And it reeks of oil, crude oil. It just reeks of crude oil.
What happened? What did you get yourself into? What's going on?
The dirty laundry, and there's an evil platypus that is dripping of evil down there.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty evil.
Yeah. Look over the hole. I guess is the opening to the basement open, to the cellar open?
Yeah, I just climbed out.
You just climbed out, right? You didn't close
Yep.
it. So you kind of shine the light down there. You kind of stand, a few steps away, but kind of shine the light down there to see.
Sure. Your light is on your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Out of nowhere, the phone gets knocked out of your hand and you feel something whip against your wrist as it gets yanked and drops down into that darkness.
I try and catch the phone.
Okay, go ahead and try.
Okay, agility athletics?
Yes, agility athletics.
29.
29. Okay. You catch onto the phone, but you realize something's holding on to it. And that's when you guys look and you see basically that kelp. It's wrapping around it like a tentacle. Black crude oil covered tentacle.
Let it go. Let it go.
I do.
It's not worth it.
It gets yanked into the thing, and you can hear it splash in the crude oil, and the light just kind of look.
Z
I
said
don't
if
care
we
about budget.
lose equipment, the budget cuts will continue.
Yeah, I don't care about the budget cuts. They're going to pay for that replacement. Oh, jeez. What the heck was that thing?
There is more of the underwater weeds down there. They are thick with it, and they are led by the evil platypus dripping with evil.
Okay, aside from destroying my phone, what evil things did it do? I'm not doubting you, but I just want clarity here.
Well, I am now the dirty laundry and need to clean myself. And it is scary and creepy and did not make me feel good.
All right, fair enough.
And it took your phone.
Yeah, that much I know.
Are you
Looks
guys
like my mom.
closing this or leaving it open?
Well, I'm not getting anywhere close to that
No.
thing. He took like 5 steps back, and he's just like,
Okay.
I'm still
Yeah.
by it, waiting for them to tell me whether I should close it or if we're going to
Okay.
go and garden.
Several others reach, so at this point then, several tentacles reach up and bat at you, Brandon. Ooh,
Okay, I will go ahead and I am going to dodge.
okay.
So,
6.
27.
Okay, 26, 25, 22, and 18 is what I have in total.
Okay, hold on. How much speed do I have left? Because I'm going to try and dodge all of that, and I just heard 5 things. So.
8, so 28 is what you started with. You moved up. I would say, let's say you are starting with 20 on your initiative right now.
Cool. I can go to 0 and try to dodge all of this. So
Okay.
I dodged the 26. What's the next one?
25.
I am 26. Then,
22.
okay, I am 24.
Okay.
And then I've got 2 more.
18.
18
the
I blow
last one.
past. Oh, okay, there was only one
There
more.
was only 4, yep.
Okay, cool. So all of a sudden this stuff comes lashing up and all, and so I dodge toward the sink, and then I open up the cabinet and block some of them, and all. I step back as others lash out and all,
These
and I'm like, see, the weeds of the sea do not normally do this.
These kelp tentacles just lash up and whack, whack, whack. Oil splattering everywhere, and this big imprint of these of the tentacle. I need to stop hitting my microphone. Of this tentacle, hitting that cabinet door, and as it does so, those little bubbles on those on the kelp that I'm talking about on the kelp.
Mhm.
Well, those start to pop, and you all smell something like it smells rank, like rotten eggs or and you guys think about it, it's like smelling, and it smells like rotten flesh. And I need you guys to make me a vigor fortitude check.
Vigor fortitude
When
check.
several of those pop against surfaces as it hits hard surfaces before retracting back down into the hole. Like
16.
16.
Keep dropping that stupid die. Okay, let me roll this.
What about you, Rizzo?
18.
Okay.
I rolled a 19 on the die, and I
Okay.
only got +3 vigor, so it's a 22.
You two, all three of you kind of just choke back your gag reflexes a little bit, and it smells awful in here suddenly, but you guys are all okay. And once it pulls itself off the cabinet, pulls itself off the tile floor after smacking and missing, and it retracts back into that hole. What are you guys doing now?
I do not think that the tanker was transporting merely oil.
The
Yeah,
smell is
Should
lingering.
we leave?
yeah, we're pulling out.
Okay, you're pulling out. Front
Is
door.
this house 2-story, by the way, or 1-story?
It is 2-story with an attic on top, so 2.5 story.
Okay. Can I go and get some clean clothes, or are we
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
go where our luggage is?
Are you guys closing that hatch, by the way?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who's closing that hatch?
He's not getting close to it. he is not a fighter, and he is he knows he can't.
Claudia isn't. I assumed her,
Okay.
but Rizzo
I'll
can.
do it if anybody
Well-
tells me to, but
Well, Claudia right now is at 0 in knit, and so
Oh.
No, I've got
Okay.
4 left.
oh,
I've got
4
4
left. Okay. So
Well, in that
Kevin.
case, I'll close it on my 17 and risk it.
Okay, sure, you'll close it. So why don't you? Let's see. I'm gonna just anything attached. Okay. You go up to it, and one of the tentacles whacks at you just as you're grabbing it, and it kind of helps you close the hatch. You don't
Oh.
know if it's intentional or not, but you start closing the hatch, and it comes up, and it looks like it's gonna hit you, and the hatch falls down with it. Okay. There's oil everywhere. There's imprints of these tentacles everywhere. You're gonna go upstairs and look through Manny's clothes, Brandon?
I guess.
Okay.
There was a stuff when we came in too. The
True.
stuff. Oh, but that stuff was not
That was
That stuff
all dirty
mildewy
clothes.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you go upstairs. Brandon, Manny is roll me a D100. You want low. You want the lower the better. Because you're a pretty small-sized person, right? You're like a size 0
I
size
am
2.
tall and very lean.
Right, so you're like a size 2 to size 0 to a size 2.
I can always wear bigger clothes, so.
Yes, you can.
Oh, the 90 is not what I'm looking for then.
Yeah, well, you definitely can. You're lucky. You can wear bigger clothes. We'll go with that because you find size 24 big moo clothes up here. And I didn't cover that the woman's clothes were very, very big before, but I am now saying they were very, very big.
I look at the man's clothes.
Okay. The man's clothes are also, significantly large. You would need to, work at it to put it on, or maybe the shirt could be tied around to become a stylish dress, but the guy is an extra large.
I don't know what the stylish is.
Okay.
I put on clothes that seem that they will allow me the most freedom, while
Okay.
also protecting me from that evil.
Sure, describe to me what you think as the player that you grabbed.
I probably have just a big Alaskan jacket and then a flannel on beneath that.
Okay.
I don't think their bottoms are going to fit me one way or the other.
Sure. So do you bother grabbing a belt or anything?
Let's say a trench coat. Can I find a trench coat or something similar to that? Pea coat?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
Really oversized for you.
Yeah, but the pea coat, pop it around and such, and
okay.
Then yes, tie it up.
Sure. She does that. She comes back downstairs, and I think you guys get the impression of what she looks like right now.
Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. First of all, out of character for public record, it's not like a 3 or even a 4X is all that big.
No, it's not. No, I meant extra. Really, really large.
I'm teasing.
Okay.
Of course. And then, hold still, Claudia. I'm going to attempt to make a craft check to fix that mess. Mama taught me how to sew some clothes and do some quick repair here.
Sure, do so. I can just picture Rizzo.
Can we have a 1980s montage where they teach the frumpy girl how to dress?
Yeah, and absolutely. I picture him using his teeth too to rip.
Absolutely. And of course, it's the best roll I've made tonight. So what is this on? Is this on intellect?
Craft, and I would say insight, since you're having to be, intuitive about things, not just intellectual.
That's a base 10. I have +2 with all crafting checks because I'm a fixture, so that's a +12. And then I rolled an 18, so that's a 30.
Well, Brandon, you came out looking nice. I mean, he might have even taken a little bit of that crude oil and splattered it on you stylishly to make it look like it was intentional. No,
there you go. Take that, Gus.
This is better.
Darn right it is.
Dan?
Yeah.
I shared my dirty laundry with the family that lives here now.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
Rizzo, why don't you describe what you envision her new look to look like?
What did the clothes start as?
A flannel shirt underneath that is oversized, and a pea coat that I had tied up around me.
Okay, so I've kept the flannel because we are in Alaska and that's a thing. So we've kept the flannel. We've just made it a little smaller, a little more flattering, and we've kept the pea coat into kind of a shirtless mod style vest.
Nice.
Or sleeveless, mod style vest.
Okay, and what about the lower part? Because she grabbed nothing for pants or skirt or anything.
Oh, then we'll have if the flannel was long enough, we'll have made it like a one-piece dress thing.
Okay, yeah, totally long enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So flannel dress with a mod style overcoat, very stylish.
Sure, very stylish. It's a little bit on the short end of a skirt. It covers what it needs to. It's kind of like she's wearing a mini skirt, kind of. Okay. Cool. So you have your stylish new outfit, Brandon, and you guys are gonna head out.
It is a Rizzo original.
Rizzo original. And when you guys come out,
that is an idea I never thought of before.
You guys notice, all of you guys notice that the kelp definitely seems closer to the house than when you left out front. Are you guys going to traipse through it, or are you guys going to do something else?
Is there like a, if I go kind of like to the rail at the edge of the porch and kind of jump to the side of the house, can I avoid some of that?
I can get us around this.
How?
I will be 1 minute. Rizzo has helped me. Let me help you make this easier for you. Alice, I go back into the house. I get a ladder.
Okay, you grab a ladder.
I will then go ahead and pop the ladder down so that it goes, like Aldo's talking about, from the porch across over to the fence and such, and so that we can use the rungs to walk on, which is pretty easy on ladders.
Yeah, it is.
I will go ahead and cross first and then act as the balance weight on the other end just to hold it down.
Good thinking. And when he goes, when she's setting that up, are there any aerosol cans in the house?
You all made pretty high search checks. So yeah, I'll say there was some aerosol. There's a couple cans of the air compression, clean your computer kind of cold air.
There's Nitro Strike brand spray paint.
Sure, I'll say not just because of that joke. There will be Nitro Strike brand spray paint, and it'll have a little yellow transformer on it as their little mascot.
Okay,
and
cool.
it says the tagline is something like, "The wall won't know what's coming at it."
Is there anything that he would know is flammable in aerosol form, in aerosol can form?
Well, many types of aerosol paint is actually quite flammable
Okay,
and can be,
good.
and
Just making
under pressure can explode. I learned this recently. So yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And he's got a lighter already because he smokes on occasion. So
Okay,
just in case.
sure.
You guys did cigar it up last time.
You guys
Yeah,
did
exactly.
cigar it, yes. Okay, so you guys will head out, and the front door, just so that we're clear, the front door looks out into it. The path from the street comes around the house. The front door looks out to the ocean, looks out to the beach. And so where you guys are trying to head on the side deck and all, where there's less, and trying to bypass back onto the driveway or street, that's on the side where you guys would have looped around. And so while there are a couple of these vines, they're generally not here. So yeah, the ladder should bypass you over it. Are you guys gonna just walk over it, or are you guys gonna like stealth, or what?
I think stealth is a good idea. This thing is under the house. We don't want it to get a sense of where we are and come at us. So he's happy to stealth and be careful too, so he doesn't fall off the ladder.
Okay,
So kind of crawl stealth
sure.
on the ladder.
Are you, Brandon, or are you just gonna traipse across?
The ladder?
Yeah.
I'm always a light step.
Okay, light step. Okay, and what about you, Rizzo? Light
I'll
step,
be
heavy
as
step?
stealthy as he can. He will attempt a light step as well.
Sure, all three of you make me light step checks.
I have apparently renamed this. 19.
Okay, 19, you're good. It's agi and stealth, aka light step. What
Mine
about
is 17.
Okay, and Rizzo?
Dice failed me this time. I'm a 15.
You're 15, okay. Who's going second and who's going third, by the way? Is Rizzo third?
Dan would probably be second because he's, I think, the least physical of
Yeah.
us, and therefore
Okay.
we have somebody holding the ladder on both
Yeah,
sides.
and I guess that would put me up third.
Okay, Rizzo, as you are crossing, one of the tentacles whips up at that ladder. One of the strands of kelp whips up at the ladder from underneath and shakes it, wrapping around one of the rungs and gives it a tug. Why don't you make me a agility and athletics check to try and basically bound off of it?
Alice, can I aid by grabbing onto the ladder and forcing it extending to our way so that Rizzo comes flying at us, basically?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a power and a athletics check, I guess, in your case.
Power athletics,
Yep.
okay.
You're just going to give it a yank.
Yep, 23.
Ooh, 23. Well, it won't even leave your shoulder hurting tomorrow. You got it. So Rizzo, why don't you roll me that check that you were talking about?
Okay. I'm at a 22.
22, yeah. You kind of, you're about to fly off of it to one side, and she kind of, gives you a yank, and you kind of just slide, luge down the rest of it towards her.
I love this. The GM's like, Rizzo, give me this check. Brandon interrupts. Talk about this. Rizzo, why don't you roll that check you were talking about? This was your idea.
And so, you see Danny DeVito luge across, luge downwards on the ladder. Boom, 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 as the ladder finishes hitting the ground into this muck. A little bit of a splash on the far end. And then the tentacle seems to pull the ladder under the house a little bit and then just releases when you guys stop moving, when it stops moving.
Should we have dealt with the evil platypus?
I don't know.
I think we might need more info on what the nature of the evil platypus is first.
Yeah.
I'm finding in our business that shooting first and asking questions later is not the best plan.
Mhm.
Unless what shooting at is going to tear your head off. Then shoot away.
No, shooting is bad.
And
No, shooting is not bad. What do you mean shooting's bad? Who put that crazy idea in your head? It was my mom again, wasn't it? Shooting's bad. Stealing cars is bad. Food is bad.
And as you guys are talking and moving away a bit, you guys hear the sound of what you think are seals out in the water. Oh my gosh, I did not do as well as I thought. And yeah. And you guys turn to look, and you guys see, two seals just at the moment before several of these same tentacles come up out of the water. The water kind of just,
No.
oil slicked water. The oil slicked water, kind of shoots up in this, that kind of a motion where, the kelp is coming up from underneath, and the seals get wrapped up and get yanked under, and Brandon apparently is diving into the oil-covered water, I hear.
I am going to... Oh my god, Alice, why are you sharing these horrific images with us?
Oh my god, wait, there's another image?
I just shared two, showing the water, showing the oil water, and, the kelp coming up and grabbing onto these seals and yanking them underwater is what you see. And Brandon's leaping in, I heard.
Yes, I am running. No!
Claudia, stop! It's too late.
I stop.
Okay.
Come back. Ugh.
I turn around and start walking back.
Okay.
Yeesh.
We need to help them.
It's too late. You tried. You did all you could. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but
they've gone to a better place. Now they're Easter seals.
They will come back to life after 3 days?
One can hope.
Then I will hope for this.
Okay.
So, Alice, you mentioned the way you phrased something, it made it sound like you suggested that maybe these were motion sensitive.
Make me an intellect perception.
Okay.
Insight perception.
Okay. 19 on the die plus 16.
This is going to be good. 35.
They definitely seem to be motion reactive. Because, again, with the ladder, once Rizzo was off of it, it released and
That's
left
what made
the
me
ladder.
think it.
And
All right.
And you're thinking fire alert him, huh?
I don't know. That's kind of a guess. But
We should go to where the ship is and find out why this is happening. There was something not right on that ship, I think.
all
And
right.
now the seals and the platypuses are suffering.
All right. If that's an angle we're going to approach, then we need to find Steve Harper, I think, first.
Yeah.
Because if there was something going on that ship, he would know.
I know we got the name Steve Harper, but you start off with Steve Har, and I'm waiting for V. And all of a sudden, I've got us playing Family Feud for why this is happening.
Yeah.
We asked
Ask
100. We asked 100 people. Top 7 answers are on the board.
Did you?
The GM hates us. Number one.
Did you guys see that that thing with Steve Harvey and the two
Rob the
families,
house.
the cleric and the magic user?
What spell should you use to rob the store?
It's all
Fireball!
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
Every time I come, and I've come across that about 8 times now, but I just watch it and I just laugh because
It's so true.
yes,
It's so true.
Okay. So
All right.
that's the plan. Where you guys are gonna head to try and find Steve Harper's daughter.
Yes. I
Okay.
don't have my cell phone anymore, though.
I know, right? So what's your plan now?
I will give him my cell phone.
Awesome.
I don't
Thanks.
use it very often. It's all
Yes.
default.
Yeah, it's on default. It's never been configured. Nobody ever calls her. Actually, no, correction. The two of you have probably texted her, and John's character, if he ever shows up, has probably texted her, but it's never been retrieved.
Yeah, they're all unread.
Yeah.
You have 10,652 unread messages.
Claudia, where are you? We're down the block. Yep, never
Yeah.
answered. At some point, you guys figured out that happened and that she never answered and stopped trying.
Yeah, hopefully Jacob Marley's okay. There's my one for today.
Okay, so you borrow her phone. Well, what I assume you're gonna go through and clear all the texts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delete all.
Delete all.
Delete all. Okay. Yeah, you guys can find that Steve Harper's daughter is Amanda Harper. And it actually the Amanda Harper actually goes by Amanda Marine or Marin. There we go. That's what
Marin?
Yeah, Amanda Marin. It seems to be the mother's maiden name.
Okay. Okay. Do we have an address
Harper's
for her?
ex. Yep.
Okay. All right. Then I guess we're heading over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You have an address where she currently works. Amanda Marin actually works at the local hardware store.
Same neighborhood?
No, actually, in Anchorage, but a different neighborhood, nowhere near the coast.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So you head into the hardware store. It's it's a smallish Ace Hardware kind of place. So it's not quite mom and pop, but we're gonna say it's like an Ace Hardware. So it's not like Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's just above a mom and pop level.
Yeah.
And as you come in, the door, the bell over the door rings. It smells of, wood and metal and tools, the smell of a hardware store. It just smells like sawdust and metal in here.
I look around suspiciously at everything as we're here, wary.
Okay. You see, there are reels of chains along one wall. And the cash register counter seems to be placed relatively in the middle of the store.
Any women working here?
Looking around, you see a couple men stocking the shelves, walking the aisles. You do see one woman. She's in overalls, relatively tight-fitting overalls. She looks to be about in her mid-20s. Auburn hair with freckles over her nose and cheeks, very pale skin. And she seems to be, she's got her hair tied back and she seems to be loading some shelves.
Okay. He's going to kind of like look around at the merchandise for a little while and kind of watch her. And he's going to try to get like maybe with an empathy, try to get a sense of her kind of state of mind, right? Does she seem nervous? Does she seem preoccupied? Does she seem sad? Does she, that's that sort of thing.
Okay.
So yes, I know it sounds a little creepy, but he's not looking at her that way, right? He's trying to just gauge her demeanor.
Sure. Okay. Roll me insight and well, I think you need to roll deception right now because you don't want to come out obvious on looking at her. So insight and deception, and that'll give you for both checks.
Okay, I rolled a 10 on the die. That's 24 total.
24. Okay. She looks like basically that, she looks like this is a soul draining job, but I'm going to do it. I have to do it. That kind of, attitude is her general demeanor. I'd say.
But it's not, this is a soul draining job, but I have a sea monster father at home.
No,
holed
correct.
up in my house. Okay.
Correct.
That's a very specific look. You'll have to tell us the story behind that sometime.
No, she doesn't have kelp for hair or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. All right. He's just gonna be straightforward, I guess. He'll walk up to her and say, "Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
Are you by any chance Miss Amanda Marin or Marin?"
Huh? She looks at you. She's very small, and when she does, and can I help, sir? Is there something you're looking for?
Well, there's someone I'm looking for. I was wondering if your father is Steve Harper, correct?
Yeah.
Are you all right, miss?
Yeah. Why are you looking for him?
I just had some questions to ask him. It's nothing bad. It's just he might have some information that I need, and I I was wondering if you knew where he was.
Why would I know where he is? I haven't. Look, I haven't spoken to him in years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I thought he stayed in town often.
Her eyes kind of go wide when you
Are
say
you,
that. Like
can I get a
she's completely surprised by that.
oh oh I am so sorry. You didn't. I am so sorry.
I haven't seen him in years.
How
Not
about your
since.
mom?
Well, dear mom, she's not all right with herself anymore. The two of them broke up, and she's just not long after she's just not quite what she was. You know, something happened to her. I don't know.
Does she live with you?
Yeah, her nurse is probably with her right now.
All right. All right. Thank you for that. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause you any discomfort or ill feelings.
Yeah. Anything else I can help you find? Uh, we have a we have a great deal on gardening tools today. 30% off all gardening tools, and if you buy a gardening shed, we will take an additional 15% off of everything.
You know what? Do you have something that kind of like dissolves oil?
Yes, a soap safe for animal life.
Yeah.
We have some bottles of Dawn in the back. I hear those work well for animals, and oil solvents. Yeah, come with me. Does kerosene work? I don't know.
I think it does. I'm not the one who works in the hardware store. But
Yeah, so she'll take you to Dawn, you know, that because Dawn's known for everyone watches the ads, right? And
yes.
she'll take you down to some solvents and such, some very harsh chemical smelling solvents that dissolve oil.
Yeah. All right. Well, he'll buy the Dom, but he'll buy something more industrial strength too.
Okay.
And it more to make her feel better than anything else.
Did they have a?
And yeah,
Oh, did they have like a hobby section like with RF?
Yeah, they do. Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up a couple of RF cards and their controllers.
Okay. Sure. They have even some, RF drone type things. Some little chopper ones.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool.
Are you getting a car for your mother?
That's what I'm doing. Car for mom.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so you buy a couple RF cars and a couple of the, RF flying drones. Okay, cool. Brandon, anything before you go? Oh,
I've got something as we're leaving.
sure. Aldo, what else?
If he could, he'd like to try to get his the mom's address or her address to go talk to the mom.
Okay. What are you gonna say to try and convince her to give you her home address? We've already established.
Don't worry about it. We're the good guys.
You know what? He'll say, basically, listen, I hate to ask this, but based on what you told me about how you thought your dad had never been in town, it might be really important for me to talk to your mom actually about this, because some of the information that I'm kind of trying to trade in here might be of benefit to her, and she might have some information that would help us to know, to figure out what's up or with your dad. So,
well, if she's having a good day, maybe. I don't think I don't know. You're
I
welcome
won't
to
bother
try.
her if she. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I won't bother her if she's not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah. And she'll give you the address.
Okay, cool.
So you didn't say, "Don't worry, we're the good guys, or I'll break your kneecaps." That's a good start.
No.
Okay.
All
So
right.
yeah, you guys
Okay.
head out, and
Mhm.
I take it
So
you guys. Go
as
ahead.
we leave, like I said, I had something.
Yes, go ahead.
Rizzo,
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're leaving, because Z told us to find the place, and it says right there that Ace is the place.
He told us to find the place, but the place that started all this. I don't know if that's the same. Remember, we got to investigate. We're gonna let Dan do his thing. He's like a genius when it comes to this stuff.
Darn, I thought that we had found a real lead there.
Well, we might have. Trust Dan.
I do. I listen to Dan unquestioningly.
This is getting worse and worse. You guys might not
He
want
did just
to listen
prove
to
that. He was going to go save some baby seals, and you told him stop, and he stopped like a
Yeah.
robot and turned around like you told him.
I know.
Unquestioningly. Okay.
And wherever we're going next, we just got to hit the beer store on the way. Just a quick stop at the beer store.
I'm okay with that.
You guys actually going to a bar, or are you guys going to a store, liquor store?
No, beer store. Just
Okay, liquor store.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, you guys can find a liquor store.
okay. We'll buy a 12 of something, half decent.
Okay.
Which we will, drink some, but I'm actually going to empty out a few to start.
Okay.
My ultimate plan is to attach molotov cocktails to RF vehicles.
Ah,
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
okay. We're going to have some fun now, aren't we? We're going to blow
Well,
our way.
if we find out these things are flammable.
Yeah.
Oh dear. You're going to blow up Anchorage, apparently.
Well,
Anchorage,
yeah.
Alaska. Biggest wildfire ever. Wildfire needs crude oil. Kablooey.
Swamp gas started it. That's all I know.
Rizzo, did someone die?
So what?
Did someone die?
No. Well,
Because
yeah.
that's when I always see
someone
people
goes about once a
pouring.
minute, Claudia, but no one close by that I'm aware of.
That's when I always see people pouring the alcoholic beverages out.
Well, I don't think anyone died around, but we'll talk later about the nature of mortality.
And you guys are going to pack up from all your new purchases at the hardware store, head out, and Brandon looks and says, "Ace, this is the place, so, why is this not the place we're sticking at?" And you guys head out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, folks. Anybody think that going to see Amanda's mom is the next move, or am I pursuing that too?
No,
Too
no,
much.
I'll follow your lead. Let's get the info.
All right.
I mean,
We
I'm
do
sure
not
we'll
have a
look at
solid
that.
lead on the swamp monster that people have seen.
I know.
Like-
I just think that Steve Harper's our best bet with that.
I do think that there is something at the boat.
Well,
I
if he
do
was on
too.
that boat, we can maybe learn some stuff of what went on. Because if he was actually there.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
You're going to head out to try and find, you're going to go find Amanda's mother. Sure. And I'm going to, so you guys get to the house, and I assume you guys go and knock on the door. Again, this is
I
gonna
don't
be-
know. This always strikes us out.
Yeah.
Do we ever get anywhere knocking on the door?
We'll see. You guys are heading out of Anchorage at this point. You guys are going further inland. You guys are on the outskirts, in the suburbs just outside of Anchorage, or where she lives. And Dan, are you going to be the one knocking on the door as usual?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go and you knock on the door, and an African American woman dressed in simple clothes looks basically you would actually recognize them as scrubs. She's wearing
Yeah.
scrubs, and she opens the door and she says, "Hello."
Hi. My name is Dan DeFalco. I'm here to see Miss Mirren.
Are you friends of hers?
friends of her daughters, and we had some questions that we wanted to ask her. It wouldn't be a bother. I mean, I we'll be quick.
I'm afraid Miss Marin's not having a good day.
Oh dear.
I don't know that she'll be much help answering your questions right now.
Is she lucid?
Depends on what you consider lucid. She's awake.
You mind if we try?
You're welcome to. Just be careful with her. Be gentle.
Yeah. By the way, she hasn't had any other visitors around recently, has she?
No, sir. Not other than Amanda.
All right.
So she will let you guys in, take you guys over to the dining room where she will set you guys down. Coffee, sir? Coffee, ma'am?
No need for that. We'll be quick.
I'll go get Miss Linda, and she goes and she comes back in a little bit, healing a woman, an elderly woman. Not too elderly, but she's maybe in her 50s, but she definitely looks older. And Brandon, how like in memory care you dealt with those people that because of what was going on with them, their bodies, they look so much older than their actual age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the case. You can tell aspects of her that she's probably the right age to be Amanda's mother. Other aspects of her just look so worn and torn that she looks much older. And she's going to see first person she sees is going to be Rizzo, and she looks at Rizzo and she says, Danny, my boy, come here and give me a hug. It's been so long since I've seen you.
Sure thing.
She has a car for indoors.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Rizzo will go over and give her a hug.
Okay. You give her a hug, and she goes, well.
Why are you wearing a sweater in this heat?
She hugs you back, and she almost sounds like she's weeping. She's like, well, so what brings you to visit, my boy Danny, my boy?
Well, my friend here, coincidentally enough, also named Dan, was hoping to ask you some things. Can I make you anything when I'm here? Are they treating you okay?
Oh, they're treating me great. I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm a little hungry. Actually, I'm really, and I could use some pie. I'd like some pie. You know my favorite pie, don't you, Danny? Don't you remember?
It's been. Remind me.
Blueberry.
Okay.
I always did like your blueberry pie.
As she's talking to him, he's going to be looking at family photos and stuff like that to see if there's anything notable about, does she still have pictures of her ex-husband up, of the family together, that sort of thing.
Okay, so you start looking around, and yeah, you find family pictures with her and her daughter. You'd guess, you'd guess that the last picture that she has with her husband, or with Steve Harper, was over 10 years ago, based on the look of the age and all. Mm-hmm. That she hasn't been, there's no more recent pictures either on the shelves or on the walls of the two of them since 10 years ago.
Okay, all right.
And there's a picture of her at her daughter's graduation from high school, but it was just her and her daughter.
Okay.
And you will also notice that the one of the last pictures you saw of her with her ex-husband was him in a military uniform, a dress uniform. Okay. The USS Sarah is not a military or government owned, it's a privately owned ship.
Yeah. What branch of the military and what rank?
Well, the picture is a little hard to tell, but you would guess he was a ranger.
A ranger, okay. Army ranger. Okay. All right. And at least I know now nobody looks like too, which I don't think we did before. Okay. All right. So when Rizzo kind of introduces him, he'll kind of like, slip over there and kind of like sit or crouch next to her. Hey there. Yeah, I did have a few questions to ask you. I hope they're not too sensitive in nature. I'm looking for Steve, and I was wondering if you'd heard anything at all about him recently. Steve Harper, your ex?
Well, Steve's on a deployment right now. I haven't. Well, he's supposed to get home next week. I miss him.
Yeah. Deployment where?
Well, he always tells me it's classified, but he's overseas right now.
Okay.
This war that we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
This, it's always all over oil. And yes, both her and her nurse have a slightly southern accent.
Okay.
Which is not from around here, not native to this area.
Wait, the South isn't in
no,
Alaska?
Yeah, okay, but yeah. I'm doing a slightly southern accent, or trying to, and it's, clearly not from the accent.
It has come through.
Okay.
It's always over oil, you said, right? Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, isn't it? Ain't that the truth? I mean, send our boys out to fight their wars, come home, and well, I hope my poor Steve comes home soon. He's supposed to come back next week for some leave. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
Alice, while they're talking, I want to be speaking with the nurse.
Okay.
Who is the Danny boy that she believes my friend to be?
Well, ma'am, that's from what I understand. Danny's her brother. Died in the war 10 years ago, overseas. She couldn't stand living in Georgia anymore, so we moved.
Her brother died in war 10 years ago.
Yes, 10 years ago. Like I said,
he must have been very old for war?
No, he was older than her. But no.
This is an old woman, right?
She's 50,
Like
yeah.
50.
50?
She's 45,
Okay.
50.
Okay. I thought she was older than that.
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago. War. Yeah, so war, 10, 15 years. Like I said, it's more that her body is that, older than she should be, kind of feel to it as a result of everything that's happened to her body. Her brother would have been in his her younger brother, but her brother would have been in his 30s.
Sure. Do we have the pie that she asks for?
I'm afraid not. Sugar makes her worse these days, so we try and keep her off it. Sends her into episodes.
I have been told that life is worth living and that you need to eat a little sugar once in a while.
True. I mean, we just don't keep it around that much.
Is there anything that I can do to help?
Well, maybe we should go make some pie. How's that? Unless your friend does know how to make a good blueberry pie.
I do not know their cooking capabilities, and I am culinarily unaware, but I am willing to learn.
Well, let's go. I just need to keep a good ear on her.
I will hear very well.
Okay. Sure. So you two will go in the kitchen, and she'll start teaching you how to make a blueberry pie.
Awesome. These berries are not blue.
Yeah, I heard that a few times.
So yeah, I'm just gonna be in there.
Okay. So back to Aldo. You're talking to her, and Danny, you're in the kitchen as well, helping them make blueberry pie. Okay. How is your ability to make blueberry pie?
Well, what would that be, a crafting skill?
Yes, it would
Yes,
be.
it would be.
Dan, I am an insanely good cook.
I'd just like to point out, completely different game, but I need to point this out. I came to the realization of what ice cream pizza is, and it is pie, because you put ice cream on pie, and you hear pizza pie, and so therefore it is ice cream pie. Pie a la mode is ice cream pizza. I've decided this. Go ahead.
A local ice cream shop on my place that makes ice cream pizza. They like spread the ice cream out thin.
Do they really?
Yeah, and put like the sundae toppings on like pizza toppings. It's friggin' amazing.
Awesome. Okay, so why don't you roll that craft for me while you're doing it?
Oh, apparently whenever I'm doing anything like non-related to the story, I just rolled a 20.
Anything not related to the story, you roll well. So that was a 30?
Yeah, actually, hang on a sec. What am I using for the skill?
Craft, and well, I guess it would be insight, because cooking is more about intuition than it is about intellect.
It is a 32 because Fixer gives me plus 2 to all crafting skills. So it's a 32.
Wait, you're baking. Baking is a science. Science is int.
Oh, then 35.
Okay, 35. There you go. It is.
I did want to help, though I don't think that it matters.
So go ahead and help. Let's see how many star pie this is. This is going to be the best blueberry pie ever, apparently.
I do not help, but
Okay.
I should not be that great of a hindrance. I have a 9.
Okay. Best blueberry pie ever. And like the nurse is just going to look at your work and watch in awe and basically not want to get in your way. It is watching a master at work.
Yeah, take that, Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, Aldo, back to you. While they're making pie.
While they were doing that, he was going to try to steer the conversation towards maybe talking about her, she made that it's all about the oil comment, so he'll try to steer it towards politics, her own and maybe Steve's as well, and see if he can dredge up any kind of like deep emotions or ideas or experiences that they may have had related to oil and the military and all of that.
Okay. So
If you want me to make
her time is definitely not lining up with reality, and I think you're starting to figure that out.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to move beyond chronologies and stuff and just get to like her thinking, right?
Okay, you figure out that she is talking about the Iraq War, that from 2003 to 2011. As details start coming out and such, and her politics is that she and her husband, in her mind, are very patriotic, that they're doing their duty, but she disagrees with the reason for war at the moment, and part of that is the hardships that that's put her family through. You get that she is not, as you talk to her, you get the impression of someone who a spouse that has been abused, at least psychologically a little bit, but she never comes out and says it.
Anchorage is horrible, guys. I hate this place.
There's some bad stuff going on right now, but there's good people too. You guys happen to be heading like
Where is there a single good person? We have people that are fearful for their lives.
There's a woman. There's a woman that the bed and breakfast. Okay.
Yes, who is fearful of the community. Nothing here is good.
Okay.
I mean, the Algonquin House of Pancakes was horrible too. We flew in the cargo here. This place is awful. Let's go back to fake 1950s California, guys. There are people with at least programmed to be happy.
So you get the impression that it's not, that basically he doesn't leave the war behind when he comes back for leave. That's the impression you get, and it's affecting their marriage a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In her mind, in the present.
Okay.
That's the impression you get. And, thinking about that and knowing people as well as you do, it kind of explains the behavior of the daughter, because when children go through certain dynamics like that, they come out a little bit like what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially without a strong hand to guide her out of that, which clearly her mother seems to have some sort of Alzheimer's or dementia of some sort.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, he'll probably wrap it up around here and wait for the, just small talk until the pie comes out. And,
okay. Sure.
And then regroup with everybody else.
Okay, pie comes out. Are you guys going to bring it out piping hot, or are you guys going to let it cool for the hour that it's supposed to?
Oh, we're making this right.
Okay. So 3 hours it takes for you guys to do the pie. For a pie right, it needs to be 3 hours. Unless he's making super tiny hand pies. You're making a good old big pie, or are you making hand pies?
Proper big pie.
So it takes 3 hours. Good proper pie takes 3 hours, including the cool down. So 3 hours later, you guys are wrapping it up. At this point, it's hitting about 5 p.m.
Right. We said we'd get back. When is sundown around these parts and around this time?
Actually, I'm sorry. At this point,
1 a.m.
Yeah, during the summer, it would probably be about 1 a.m., right? Because it's summer. If it was fall, it'd be like, it's been dark for 4 hours now.
Okay. All right, folks. I'm hitting a dead end. The last thing he'll do is ask he expects that the answer is no, but just to cross it off his list, ask the nurse, has there been any communication from the husband? Have you seen anybody watching the house or in any way, nearby?
Think of it, sir. There was a strange package left on the door last week.
A strange package left on the door. Did you open it?
I made sure that it was safe before I opened it, but yeah, I opened it, and inside was a stack of cash.
That's it. A stack of cash. No note? No nothing?
I'll go get it for you, sir.
Please.
I'll go get the box.
You have the packaging too? The whole thing?
No, the packaging I already threw out, but I'll go get the box. She goes upstairs, she comes back, and she brings a shoebox.
Mm-hmm.
And she hands it to you, and you open the shoebox, and yeah, it is just a stack of money, like money packed into it.
Okay.
It is kind of like, it's money.
Yeah.
Cash. Cold hard American cash.
Nothing else in there, like
you can search through it. You can tell basically that it hasn't been she didn't take it out and count the money. And so if you go through and you flip through it, you'll notice that basically it adjusts how it moves, how it's settled very significantly. And at the bottom, you do find a note.
Okay, read it.
Okay. The note is addressed to my sweetie pie. I am so sorry for everything. This will make things right. You won't hear from me again. Signed, S.
Wow. Did you show this to her?
No, sir. I didn't show it to anyone. I've just kept it safe in case she needs it.
All right.
I didn't even know about the note down there. I haven't even touched the money.
All right. Well, just consider at some point it might bring her some peace. You know her better than I do, so I'll let you call that shot, I guess.
On a good day, perhaps, sir. On a good day.
All right. So eat the pie and leave.
Okay. And yeah,
Do you share?
Yeah, I'll push you guys off as I eat the whole pie.
It's delicious pie. It's amazing pie. Makes me want some pie right now. So you eat the pie, and she stays relatively, docile. She's very disconnected with reality, but she stays relatively docile, which means that you guys had better luck than you could have, because with that, she could have just totally gone nutso and been like, "Who are you? Get out."
Right.
But yeah, she stayed relatively docile and talked, and while she was disconnected with modern reality, she was able to give you tell you a lot and converse with you. Okay. You guys leave. It's about 5 p.m. What is your intention now?
Well, it looks like he doesn't have any intention of coming back here. I don't know how to find him at this point. So you think do we head out to that boat?
Roll me you're a psychologist type person, right, Dan?
He's not a psychologist by training. I mean,
but you're very insightful into people's behavior.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Why don't you roll me an insight and
empathy?
Empathy check. Yeah, that's a good one. Insight and empathy.
Nat 20. So it's a total of, let me see, 33.
The vernacular on that note reads like a suicide note. You won't hear from me again. I am so sorry about everything. Signed S.
Yeah.
More happy times at Anchorage.
Sorry, this is supposed to be a, apocalypse prevention.
No, I don't mind at all. I realized you wandered into a Cormac McCarthy novel.
I'm just like,
I'll make next one a little bit brighter. How's that?
This is all so horrible. We could find the way out, or we could just find our own way out now. Like, God. And the seals and the poor platypus. To all our listeners, I know it's not a platypus, but you didn't see the image she showed me.
It's supposed to be a seal.
It was. Yeah. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. It's like if oil and acid had a baby.
That's what happens to seals, apparently, when they get dredged in that oil. It basically acts like acid on them. Sorry, I had an image of the game, and I was going and looking for images that matched it to show you guys. You have to admit, the kelp tentacles works pretty well with crude oil all over them. Yeah. It looks creepy. It looks creepy and Cthulhu-esque. So,
all right.
To the boat.
What do you guys do?
Or the ship, I guess, right? To the ship.
Okay, how do you guys want to get out to the ship?
You guys want to charter a boat?
That would probably be for the best. I could not swim with both of you on my back that far.
You guys did notice that there is that kelp, that same kelp on the water. Thus,
I know.
The seals and...
We're aware that, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Okay, cool.
Perhaps we should charter a boat for the morning, and tonight we should stake out around the bed and the breakfast.
That's a good idea, actually, Claudia. It's a very good idea.
Let's stop for some gas on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I can fill up my empty beer bottles.
Oh.
Sure.
And Dan, you will be proud of me. I don't think that the Danny that she was speaking of is the same Danny that Rachel spoke about.
Good. That's progress.
And if it was, he is a very bad person.
Okay, so you're gonna go by a gas station, fill up your car, and a little extra for some beer bottles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. You guys go up and you guys head back to the inn, the bed and breakfast. And when you guys get there, there's dinner already prepped for you and already made. It looks like it looks like Daisy went shopping for some groceries, and the dinner is much more extravagant than the breakfast.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
So, what is you guys' plan? You guys mentioned a stakeout.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what it sounds like.
Which involves less steak than the name says.
Oh. How do you guys plan for the stakeout?
Perhaps if we all climb up to the safety of the 4th floor on the outside of each of these buildings and we watch, then when we see the swamp monster, we can jump down upon it to disable it.
Well, something like that. I might opt for windows, and just watching, and then figure it out. Depending on what we see.
I will, if we're doing a stakeout overnight to watch, I will find the most central roof.
Okay.
That gives me the best view and sit up there with my sniper rifle.
That works. So, what is your
There,
plan?
Danny DeVito's on my neighbor's roof with a sniper rifle.
Yep.
Yeah, wait till she tells Nick that, right? Nick, the police officer, that.
Nick is a damn liar.
Okay, so what are your watches? Are you guys all gonna stay up all night or what?
You know what? I mean, sundown is 1:00 a.m.
Yep.
So probably get some sleep before then,
Okay.
and then basically be up while it's dark.
Sure.
And while Rizzo is kind of perched up at the highest point with a sniper rifle, Dan will probably have a window that he's kind of maybe on the 2nd floor or whatever, that he's kind of looking out of primarily, but he'll make the rounds and check, every 20 minutes or so, kind of like move around to other windows and get a different perspective, kind of make the rounds and then come back to the other windows. So.
Okay. So let's see here.
Also, probably make the round when he makes the rounds. He'll probably check the 1st floor as well to see if he hears anything on the, on the 1st floor.
Okay.
That's
And yeah, sunset should be like midnight to 1 a.m. By midsummer. If we're going by today, it sunsets at 10:32 p.m. Rises at 5:20. Okay.
Yeah, but you were saying summer, so.
Yes, midsummer, June, longest day of the month, would be like 14 hours of daylight in Alaska. So, you guys start watching, and you guys are all watching. And in the middle of the night, you guys, about 4 a.m., I would say, why don't you guys make me perception checks?
Sight-based?
What? Sight-based. Yes, it would be sight-based.
And insight?
Yeah, insight.
33.
30 for me.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
Blam! What did you shoot? I don't know. I saw something moving there.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna blam something in the darkness, but it's not gonna be this. The two of you who made 30s, at one point, you're looking out the window, or maybe Brandon, you're on the roof. I heard at one point, but Dan and Claudia, you guys see what you would guess to be, what the best way to describe it would be, the swamp monster out of a swamp monster movie. And with how well you guys rolled in the sight and all, you guys can see that it's just it would be like the form of a man covered in this kelp that you guys were dealing with from head to toe, and just oozing that black crude oil all over and shambling across. And the guy is currently walking across this along the beach, and then walking towards the water. and walking towards the water.
Mm.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Rizzo, do you see it? He'll point. He'll kind of like, you know, tell him the direction and stuff.
Yeah, if he can help me point it out, I will.
Yeah, you look out and you see, you know, what looks to be exactly as I described. Black crude oil. The kelp definitely seems to move, like, you know, Medusa hair kind of feel, you know, like moving with a mind of its own.
All right. How many of you guys think it's Steve?
That is Steve.
I don't know.
He's
Maybe.
really let himself go.
It could be.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
And he just continues walking towards the water. You guys see him step into the water and continue walking.
Should I stop him?
We got to do something. Let's go. So run out there.
You run out there, and as you run, when you run out,
cover me, Rizzo.
There.
So running out there, you're gonna run into a lot of those, a lot of that kelp that we were talking
I
about.
will try and lead the way.
Okay. So
is he within shouting distance?
Possibly. You'd have to shout pretty loud. Yeah, you could shout to him.
Okay.
You'd probably be shouting loud enough to make a ruckus and wake the neighborhood kind of shout, though.
Well, okay. He's gonna try that anyways. He does not want to run through that.
Okay.
Through that stuff.
So what are you calling
Hey!
As we're doing
Steve!
this, I'm gonna yell out to Dan. There's like half a dozen Molotovs in my go bag.
Got it. You hear that?
Okay. You seem to have the attention of whatever, you know, if that's Steve or not, you seem to have his attention. He turns around, and then some of that kelp on him just kind of slides off his body and just like starts to slither towards you like snakes along the ground.
No. Listen. I come in peace.
And he starts to shamble towards you.
Okay.
And then you see from behind as he's coming towards you, more of that kelp, that ooze covered kelp, crawls up his backside and adds to the pile on him to replace the ones that left and started sliding, coming towards you. And the ones that are on the ground are definitely slithering towards you, a bit like tentacle snakes coming towards you guys.
Claudio, you might want to secure some of those Molotovs just in case. But look, I don't mean you any harm. I just want to know what's going on. I just want to talk.
Okay. You can roll me an insight empathy. Because there is an unnatural feel coming off of him by all means.
An insight what now?
Insight empathy.
Empathy, okay. All right. It's not horrible, but it's not super duper good. Let's see, it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24.
Okay. You get just this palpable feeling of rage coming off of him as he's moving. You know, like every muscle little peak of muscle that you do catch as he's moving just kind of tenses up when, you know, like somebody like, you know, is falling a fist. You can kind of feel that posture and body language of someone who's raging angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Why don't we go into initiatives? Because at this point, unless
so
you guys...
Alice,
basically,
he's the internet.
So why don't we go into initiatives? Because at this point, they're going to start closing in far enough that people are going to start being able to react.
Okay.
Even rolling twice, sometimes you just roll horribly.
Okay. Brandon, what is your initiative?
16.
16. Wow.
I can fail too, you know.
Well,
but yes, I did go and get the bag, Alice, for the go bag that does not seem to go very far by itself.
Okay, Kevin, what about you?
My initiative is also nope. I lied. It's a 15.
15. Aldo, what about you?
19, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not first in our group.
19. Okay. So Aldo, your action is first, and yeah.
Well, he's going to run back inside and draw actually, you know what? He's going to, can you take like a move action and an attack action? Or how does it work in this game?
Yes, you can. You take effectively a negative on
Neg 4, I
your.
believe. I need to go double check.
It was like neg 4 or neg 3.
Okay. He's more interested in seeing if there is a reaction that we can capitalize on than in actually succeeding in the attack.
Okay.
But he would like to attack and then move. Is that something he can do?
Yeah.
Or do you have-
Yes, he can. You just have to take
Okay.
more off your thing. And I need to double check if it's take extra 4 or extra 3 off. What page is
I'm
it?
there. It's neg 3.
Okay. What page is it again?
Okay.
It is 178.
Ah, okay. I was just a few pages off. Great. Thank you for the chart.
No
So
problem.
yeah, -3. So it would be your attack, and then add 3 to that would be what we drop off your initiative. What attack are you
Okay.
doing?
What he would like to do is do the aerosol can and lighter trick and basically like shoot like a gout of flame at
Okay.
the oncoming tentacles.
Sure.
And if he hits, great, but he's more interested to see if they react in any sort of like in fear, not fear, but if they react to it, because that might be something that would be helpful for us to know.
Okay.
But then after he does that, he's going to retreat into the house.
Roll to hit.
Okay, I rolled a natural 3, so that's not awesome.
Okay. You
God, when he said natural, I was really hoping.
Yeah.
I know.
You
I know.
definitely did not connect with anything. You're just kind of doing your, warning shot, like you were saying.
Mhm, mhm.
You don't notice a visible reaction at the moment, and you just run back
Okay.
in the house.
Yep, that's fair.
So next one, would be the shambling mound, is what I'm calling him. He is going to run up. Well, he's going to
You can
shamble
call him
up.
Steve. He has a name.
I haven't
That's just
revealed whether that's
rude.
Steve or not yet. I haven't revealed if it's Steve or not yet. GM needs to keep her little secrets for now. So
In my head was already, should we lightning bolt it? But that's a different game.
I'm going to move up.
Does it blend?
I'm going to move up a little, stop moving at reach. And it's going to basically, the kelp is going to raise up from his body and reach out and just kind of whip at Brandon. And I'd say, Brandon, he's about 10 feet from you at this point.
Oh, wow. So I got back with the bag. I pass it to Aldo as he runs past me.
Okay, yeah. You got back with the bag. I gave you guys some actions. Ooh, okay. Roll me. So he's a +7. I'm a 17. I'm sorry. I'd say you're like 15 feet. He has a bit of reach on what he does.
I'm going to try blocking.
Okay. So you're just gonna try and deflect these kelp tentacles.
Yes.
Okay.
So I rolled a 2, so that is 2, 30, 27.
You know that you beat him way high. Okay. You just whack it right off of you, and he is going to take that off his. And what about you, Brandon? How many initiative did you take off your?
3.
Okay. That is okay, and you said 3 off you. Great, Brandon, you are on a 13. Go for action.
I look at Dan as he passes me, and I'm shoving a bag at him. Here are the beverages that you asked for. Do not come further. This is private property.
Oh.
We are not playing hide and go seek.
I apologize. Kevin, you're first. 15.
I will
before
aim.
You're aiming? Okay.
Yeah, which knocks 3 off, so I'm down to a 12.
Now take your action, Brandon. He's a 12 and you're a 13.
This is private property. You are not welcome. We are not playing hide and seek. Please stay away.
Okay.
I'm basically, waiting for further action or instruction on what to do.
Sure.
Because we were attempting to talk to him.
Okay, Kevin, your action.
So these guys are still within earshot?
He's not playing nice. Go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say, waiting for Dan
Take
to
him
tell me,
down.
should I take the
Yeah.
shot? Okay. So I don't know how hard this thing to hit, so I'll take the +5 to hit
okay.
because I am a marksman.
Go for it. Roll it.
So agility plus marksmanship?
Are you trying to aim for the shambling mount?
Yes.
Okay, and what are you shooting it with?
Medium weapon.
Okay.
I'm defining it as my sniper rifle.
Okay. I'm an 18.
Okay. I am a 15 plus agility marksmanship, right?
Yep.
26 plus the 5 for aiming is 31.
31. Okay.
Nice.
So 31 versus I said an 18. So that's
2 boosts.
2 boosts.
Okay. So I think the base damage for a medium weapon is 3.
3.
And what do I do? What can I do with the 2 boosts?
You can add a damage. You can
Okay.
knock him back. You can tell me some flourish of how you do it stylishly, or basically something like that with one of the boosts. Or you can, I think, I forget what the last option is. Yes.
Bonus info, style, streak bonus, time crunch, additional targets.
And each of those costs a raise.
Yes.
Yes. And
So I'm going to take +1 damage,
okay.
but I'm going to put it right along the cheek and try and open up the kelp to see if we see a human face under it before it closes.
Okay. Roll me perceptions. Aldo, you don't get to do this because you're currently faced the other way.
Yes, that's fine.
Visual, correct?
Yes, visual.
19. I rolled horrible.
Okay.
I rolled pretty well when I got a 19 too.
Both of you notice that there's definitely what looks like human face underneath that, that retracts and comes back on that kelp.
Nice.
There's definitely a guy under there, Dan.
I'll bet you it's Steve. He's pissed off.
Okay. And at that point, that's 4 off your speed, right? So you're an 8?
Actually, I think it's 4 plus 2 for the weapon, if I
Okay.
remember correctly. I think you add,
You're at
I believe
6.
the medium weapon adds 2.
And Brandon, what did you take off your initiative, or were you just staying at 13? I forget.
I'm not going to be able to convince him of anything, so I was just talking. So
Okay.
basically, knock me 1 down and
Yep.
basically the same action as Kevin because Aldo says let him have it.
Okay. Well, you're gonna knock down until the bad guys, because bad guys are going before then. So bad guys.
Bad guys are going before Kevin.
Yes. Bad
But
guys.
Kevin
before,
just shot.
Kevin just shot. Bad guys are going before Kevin's next turn.
Yes, but what I
I
would
see what you mean.
basically
Yep, I see what you mean. So you get knocked down to a 12. Got it. So your action, Brandon, because then you act before them.
Okay, I want to go in there, take a run up the porch, jump up onto the rail, and then
Okay.
push off into a flying fist to his face
Okay.
to try and make him stagger back.
Okay.
I am going to take my shot. That is going to be 37.
Yeah, you definitely hit by 3 degrees. Get 3 degrees.
That, remember, I boost every 4.
You get 4 degrees.
Okay. So flipping back to
4 boosts.
the boosts. Additional targets, none. Bonus damage, very tempting.
There's definitely a lot of tentacles and kelp rising up and starting to whip around all around you. So there are additional targets available.
Okay.
It's actually becoming like this scene of, the kelp kind of almost looking like an ocean of them. And she just jumped into the center of this mass of them that's starting to whip up and move.
Fine. Claudia, as she jumps forward, all of a sudden bone claws begin to extend from her hands. The reason Rizzo's family names me Claudia.
Claudia, okay.
Nice.
And I am just going to go to
Sweet.
town on kelp.
Okay.
So I am just going to try and rip the kelp up as much as I can.
Okay, Raza frickin' Raj the kelp. Got it. So
Yes.
you guys see like kelp flying everywhere. oozy crude oil, splattering all over Claudia. Claudia's brand new original Rizzo is getting gunked up. I mean, she's gonna be gunked up all over again in just a moment. And then, after it flings in the air, some of that kelp falls to the ground and it falls limp. And
so my damage, I'm going to go for how many targets are available, Alice?
You have 10 targets easily.
Okay, I will do 4 lethal to 5 targets.
Okay, 4 lethal to 5 targets. So 5 of them will be gone, and more are coming. Cool. Next initiative is me. How much did I take off your initiative for that, by the way?
3, I think.
Okay, you're at that. Great, so I get to go. And I'm going to start... Ooh, there's a nat 20.
5 off my initiative.
Okay, nat 20 plus 7 is 27.
Okay, knock another 3 off of me. I am well past that.
Okay, knock another 3 off of you. And I have a 14.
Okay, I will take that.
Okay, you will take...
So knock another 1 off of me.
Okay. Knock another
I don't
1
know
off
what
you.
my initiative is at this point.
You're at 5 initiative at the moment.
Okay.
Take 2 points of damage.
Okay, armor will soak that.
Okay. Then 9. A 9.
That doesn't even hit.
Okay.
But knock another nit off me because I do believe I still have to take some sort of response to it.
Okay. Wow, I'm rolling worse. 10.
Knocking a nit, and that's a base hit.
Okay. That is a base hit, so that's 1 damage.
Okay, the armor soaks it.
Okay. And the others are going to basically just whip around and be beating. Can't reach Rizzo, can't reach Dan, so I guess I'm going to hit you 1 more time. Oh, then there's another nat 20.
Okay, I'm down to...
You're down to 1 initiative.
I thought I had 3 at this point.
You had 3, yes, you had 3.
So I will go ahead and I will move to... Which one is it? Block that, and
Okay.
I have a 20 as well.
Okay, so you're fine. Nat 20 is... Because I'm a 27 and your nat 20 is going to beat me. Okay, so you're at a 0 now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I am fully out.
My 10s just moved, and then a bunch of them are just whipping around at air. Now we go back to Aldo. You are actually at the next initiative. I apologize. I actually missed you on the 16 after your last loss.
That's okay. Okay, so she's being kind of swarmed by these tentacle things,
Yes,
right?
tentacles everywhere.
Is there any way to throw a molotov to hit tentacles that are far enough away from her to not hit her with a molotov?
Absolutely, right? But if you roll really bad, I'm going to make you hit her.
Okay, well, I'm going to hope I don't roll bad.
Okay.
How can I use focus to affect this?
So using focus, let's go back to that page. Brandon, do you have that page on hand?
No, not off the top of my head.
No problem. That's going to be page 93, and I'm just going to read off what is on that once again. So focus, ways to spend it. You can use it to affect the scene. Basically, scene change, adjust. You can use it defensively. For 2 points, you can use it to roll with punch. You can Lux favor, which is going to be the default for this is rounding down. By spending 1 focus, you can round up instead in the game. Overcome for 1 point. The character can spend 1 focus to overcome some kind of negative effect they are currently suffering, such as fear, exhaustion, or pain. Rerolling a failed check, that's going to cost 1 or 2. Based on if it was a critical failure, then that you're rerolling, it would be a 2. Otherwise, it's a 1. Retribution, when attempting to make someone really hurt, the player may then spend focus points to gain a bonus to their attack. So for every 1 so if you spend 1, it's going to give you a +2 to hit. If you spend 2, it's going to give you a +3 to hit and +1 damage.
Okay, I'll spend 2 for that.
So +3 to hit and +1 damage. And then you can summon inner strength as well, just as in battle. Focus can spend 2 to 1 bases to recover health, and then use magic for it.
Okay. All right.
And what was the page number there, Alice?
93.
93, Alice.
Yep.
Thank you, Alice.
You're welcome.
I rolled a 13 on the die.
Okay.
I assume this is agility and what, athletics? Maybe?
Agility and athletics would be the throw, yes.
Okay, so that's a 17. That's an 18 total +3, so that's a 21.
Okay, 21.
+3 from the focus use.
Okay. Yeah, you landed in a pile of them, and whoosh, it lights up. Because once again, this is crude oil. Oil is
Yeah.
very flammable. In case people didn't know, kids at home, do not play with oil. But whoosh, it just it starts to light the entire area on fire. You start hearing screams from the man underneath that kelp. He is screaming in pain. Brandon, you need to get the F out of Dodge. You are suddenly surrounded in fire everywhere. Because this does not take long to spread. I'm going to give you, a round to basically get the F out of Dodge, a couple initiative points. And you also hear the screams of animals around nearby in pain as well. However a seal would sound in pain, because a seal would sound like well, whatever that in pain would sound like. There we go.
Oh no.
Lights are going on around the houses nearby.
You're right.
I don't know who
sucked.
started that fire.
So we're gonna see how that goes on Brandon getting out of there. Aldo, you're actually the next initiative again at the moment.
Oh my god.
Throw it again.
Is oh gosh. Is there any way that he could assist Claudia in getting out? Like he throws it, and then when it lights up the way that he does, he's kind of like, oh shit, pardon me, oh crap, and he's concerned for her. So rather than throw another one and make it even worse for her, he'd rather, like, if he can run over and like try to help. I mean, I know she's more capable than he is, but
well, also remember that there's all those tentacles that are kind of snapping around me.
Yeah,
so.
And they're now like on fire, and they're snapping slower and slower, and they're starting to fall. But there is that, they're adding to the height of the flames as they're, sizzling and crackling and such.
Well, I guess he probably makes the motion to go do that, but then he realizes he'd just be getting in the way. So he's not going to take an action right now. Is there the equivalent of held action?
Yeah, and also if you want, you can use a call out to assist, say basically, see about using a perception to spot an opening for her, and then use that as a way of helping her out by saying, go to your left, 6 o'clock, something like that.
Perfect. That's what he'll do then. That's
okay,
perfect.
Go ahead and roll a perception insight for me. See if you can find a good opening for her.
I rolled kind of crummy, but I have a really good combination here. So it's 16 plus 5 is 21.
Okay. You actually are the next initiative as well, after dropping 4 off of you, to do something like that, take the time. You're a 12 and Kevin's a 6.
Yep.
Okay, so I did the call out and I still get another action?
Yes, because like I said, I accidentally missed you on the 14. You were actually above them, and so you're a 12 now. Kevin's a 6.
You got a lot of actions.
If there are,
well, I think he has a three actions total. So this is gonna be his last action.
Oh, true.
If I guess he's just, again, if there's no other imminent threat that he can help with another Molotov,
you're gonna try and
he's gonna call out. Can I call out again?
Yeah.
2 call outs?
Sure.
Oh, sweet.
Make it, see if you can make it more precise.
This one's not much better. It's a 23.
Okay.
I roll a 7 on the die.
So Brandon, I'm gonna give you a total of +3 on your trying to navigate your way out. With how well he was, helping you, if crackling and sizzling. So at this point, we're going to be rolling the next round of inits.
Is Kevin out of actions?
Kevin, I believe, is out of actions. Or do you still have
3?
Oh, you have 1 more. I apologize.
Because
Kevin.
he aimed once, he shot once.
Yep. So Kevin, you have a 3rd action, which so you're at 6. You're at minute 6.
Yep, I could shoot, but I feel, as I shared in our little chat there, I think it's going to Jimmy Cagney and yell "Top of the world, ma," because it feels appropriate.
Okay. Awesome.
This guy's. I don't want to hurt. I want to take this thing down because it's obviously causing troubles. But I'm going to do the old classic Western and try and put one in his leg. Actually, if I aim, will it carry into the next round, or do I have to redo my aim?
Unless it says any otherwise, it should.
Let me go look here and see if I'm on that page.
Maim claim. Taking one's time in is an art and can lead to a more effective shot. In the end of the stance, the agent learns how to use that to the fullest. +5. So it's an aim action. Taking
Yeah.
to their next attack, character can do it 3 successive times. So yes, doesn't say anything about not, so it would
Okay.
definitely seem appropriate.
So I will
Salus's
aim.
call.
Which leaves me with 3 initiative left, and that was my third action.
Okay, so you are at 3 initiative.
Yep.
And we roll new inits at this point.
I am going to go ahead and burn a focus using my swift stance to get a +4.
Okay.
And our extra initiative carries over to the new roll, correct?
Yes, your extra initiative carries over, so you add it. So Aldo, you'll be adding 9. Brandon's adding 0, and Kevin, you're adding 3.
And initiatives, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Is initiative on a D20?
Yes.
Okay, I'm doing it right then. All right. I just rolled it well.
My high was a 5 out of my 2 dice, so. I thought I had something else that I could use.
You said I'm adding 9?
No,
Okay.
Aldo, you have 9 remaining. Just roll your initiative and tell me what it is. I'll add whatever is left over.
Okay,
That's easy.
thank
See,
you.
I thought it was just our unused actions added over. Is it that we use the count as well?
I'm pretty sure. Unrolled initiatives. We can double check that.
I'm a 36.
Okay, you're a 36. And if you want to look that up while I'm doing everybody else's knit, you're welcome to, Brandon, because I'm not 100% certain now. Kevin, what's your initiative?
I'll give you my unmodified. It's a 24 before we do anything with leftovers.
Okay, great.
Yeah, unused actions give you a +2 if you burn too many actions.
That's
then
what it was.
It
okay.
penalizes you.
Okay, Aldo, what's your initiative?
Mine is 23 before I add anything.
Ooh, okay. Brandon, you're first on the initiative because you are 36. Did you have any unused, or did you?
I used my actions that I had not spent.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome.
And modified it.
Brandon, you are first. You're at 36.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and be in my rapid strike stance.
Okay.
Which will give me bonus actions, but negatives to my rolls.
Okay.
And I want to give this guy a haircut.
Ooh, okay. You want to give this guy a haircut? Do it. Go for it. He is screaming in pain, and you can see that he's lighting on fire. You're going to start taking fire damage, by the way, by staying.
I cannot leave him without making a mental trauma roll.
Okay.
Because I believe that this is what is right, is saving him.
Okay.
What was the focus thing that we could do?
Focus, you can add to damage by spending 2 focus. You get +3 to hit, +1 damage. You can, let's see here. You can scene change, scene edit. You can, I'm trying to find the page while I try and remember them.
I'm looking at it. Retribution.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive. I will give him a +5 to his reaction.
Okay.
So I have 14, so 11, 39.
Oh yeah. Whoa. 39. I rolled a 5 + 7 is 12. That's 6 raises, I believe.
Did you get your +5 on that?
No. So that's 5 raises.
So that is going to be 5 raises. That is the damage is effectively 6 lethal because I am stinging like a bee.
But you are actively trying to do only the kelp.
I am trying to give him a haircut.
Okay.
I want to Edward Scissorhands this topiary.
Yank.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And just going around him and just trying to cut away everything that I can.
Okay.
Since we have reason to believe there's a man underneath.
It starts falling off, given the way that, given everything being on fire. You guys start hearing sirens. Well, actually, I guess not yet, because it's very quick going by. But lights start going on in houses. And yeah, Brandon, this kelp starts falling off of him. There's a man underneath that is very much lit on fire at this point. Fire is starting to whip and lick up into his exposed neck and his arms and such like that. And he is still covered in crude oil. So, yeah, not fun.
So that's 5 in it for me.
Okay. 5 in it. Ooh, well, after 5 in knit, you are at 31. which is still higher than anything else on the board.
How much is left on this gentleman?
Between everything burning on him and what you cut, there's probably only 20% of what was once there.
I'm going to withdraw claws and try and grab him to move him. So I want to take 2 actions effectively.
Okay.
Do you know, do we have complicated grapple rules, or do we have simple, that is a flavor of what you're doing?
I believe that's a flavor of what you are doing, but I can double check 187. I am also going to ask you to take 2 points of fire damage at this point, because you are going to have to take, basically embrace the fire a bit in order to interact with him.
Okay.
Because you're active, he's on fire all around you, and you're grabbing him. So it's supposed to be 187, I thought.
183 is where I have combat action starting.
Okay, great. And I believe, unless you're talking about an entangle, I guess some part of the body. So it's an entangle in this game. So that's Agi and Fist at a speed 5.
Okay, so
yeah, I need to bookmark the pages a little.
I wrote it down, but I think it's in my notebook. I was looking for my sheet where I had my pages bookmarked, but all right. I took my damage, by the way. So 25, so 22, so 30.
Okay.
I'm doing Mikey math nowadays, Alice. Did you notice that? I'm doing Mike math.
I'm hearing that. Okay.
We had a friend, we were playing, D&D Pathfinder type stuff, and he would spit out 6 different numbers, and then he would come to his, and you'd be like, what? Because these numbers have nothing to do with what you, and he would run you through the steps, and I realized I'm doing Mikey math now.
That's awesome.
You grab him. You grab him with style even. You grab him with multiple points of, so you have 3 raises on him on the grab.
I want to, how many do I have to spend to really get this moving?
I would say you can spend 1 point of focus to scene edit to get the 2 of you moved.
Oh, well, I took the neg to take my move action.
Oh, cool. So yeah, you would take, you could take 1 of those raises for that.
Okay, so that's 3 raises left?
3 raises total, so 2 raises left.
So 2 raises left. All right, so I am going to go to another target and just try and pull some more of that kelp off effectively. And yeah, I'm going to do another raise to try and get us the heck out of there.
Okay, so 2 raises to get you guys out, and 1 raise to basically be kicking what's left of the kelp that's around his legs off as you're dragging the 2 of you out.
Let's leave what's actually skip that. I want to try and swat him in the face a bunch to put the fire out.
Okay, and you're using 1
2
raise
to get us out of there.
Okay, 2
and 1 to try and swat fire.
Sure. While you're trying to get out of there, why don't you make me a perception insight roll, and you're gonna get a +3 to this because you have, actually I think he rolled twice. I'm gonna give you a total of +5 to this to find your way out.
Okay, that's 22.
Because Aldo was navigating you, going, no, this way.
There's perception. 22, so 31, so 36, and 38 if it's sight-based or hearing-based.
I am not going to make you take additional damage getting out of that fire, but that fire is definitely spreading right now. You are in. There are flames everywhere. And yes, the picture you just linked to our general Discord community and family is very true. So for anyone in our Discord community that watching this, I am going to pin this right now. So that there is you guys can look in the pins.
With our tagline, our plan may have gone sideways.
Yes, exactly. So there is fire. Lots and lots of
ready.
fire.
I'm ready, Alice. You let me know when.
We're going to drop you guys out of the nits at this. Tentacles are on fire.
I got a plan.
Go for it. Tell me what the plan is. You're welcome to do this outside of initiative.
Because I've been aiming.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend my focus points to edit the scene. Okay. Right? How much does it cost me? 1?
Depends on the extent of the edit. It may cost you 2, and there is quite an inferno.
Because that fire hydrant sitting there right there on the street. I'm going to shoot the end off of it and spray this fire with water.
Okay.
It'll spread the oil fire. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you can do that. I will let it.
No, I know
burn.
water. I actually know water and oil fires don't mix. That's
Yeah, I will. What I will let you do is burn that. If you want to scene edit, what you can do is you can create basically. What water will do is push and barricade,
Yes.
but it won't actually put fire out.
Yeah.
Oil and fire. So you can basically create a boundary line where it's geysering, so it doesn't hit a house or something.
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Rather than put it out, I wanted to be able to like shoot it. Like hopefully there's like create water so it stops spreading.
Okay, that I will allow you to do that with 2 points and a scene edit.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. 2 points for the scene edit. Do you want me to make a magnificent rifle shot to pull it off?
I'm gonna say the 2 points of scene edit is more than enough to do.
Okay.
2 points lets you make the magnificent shot.
All right.
Yep.
I had old Billy Baru ready to go. That's the die 20 I put out when there's trouble.
Okay.
So yes, I retreat us back into the house. Passing by Dan as I pull hopefully Steve up.
Okay. Well, you do that, and you get the two of you into the building. And we're gonna deal with this at this point. He's basically unconscious from the pain at this point. Looking at him once you're inside, what are you guys gonna do, by the way?
I go to the kitchen, I turn on the garbage disposal and the water, and I am shoving seaweed down the garbage disposal as I pull it off of him.
Okay.
Yeah, if that fire is still a threat, I know that Rizzo kind of like prevented it spreading to some degree. If the fire is still a threat, he'll try to find a fire extinguisher and kind of like do what he can with the fire. If it looks like it'll probably just burn out and not spread, then that's a different story. So then he
do exactly the same thing. So it'll help Dan find a fire extinguisher, do whatever,
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Awesome. So you put out you try and do that a bit, and it's going to be kind of hard to put out all that. There's plenty of water around, but as was stated, water doesn't help with oil fires that well.
Right.
No, but like a fire extinguisher will
some other areas.
Mud, something that cut off its oxygen source.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And maybe not the whole fire, but at least prevent it. Try to use the fire extinguisher to prevent it from spreading to homes and the like. Right.
Right. Okay. You guys will start hearing sirens coming from fire department. Brandon, what are you doing with the guy?
As I told you, I take him to the kitchen, I turn the water and the garbage disposal on, and I am throwing kelp into the garbage disposal.
Okay, and you're trying to wash him?
As I pull it off of him.
Okay, and you're trying to wash him off?
Well, I'm more focused on get the kelp away from him at this point.
Sure. When you start pulling some of the pieces of kelp, you notice basically the back of his neck, the kelp basically sunk into the back of his neck, into his nerve, against his spine. Imagine, Matrix where that jacked in. Okay. Yeah. So there's kelp that's literally sunk into, clawed into his body, and you're pulling it literally out like that they're intravenously injected into him and at points of his body, and you're literally yanking it, and he's just screaming in pain as you do.
Shink.
Okay.
Time for surgical removal.
Slice. You're gonna slice, and so when you slice, you leave bits of it, in the back of his neck, in his arms, in his chest, and it's very obvious that it's kind of injected into his body. Sorry, apocalypse prevention, everyone. It's gonna be a little creepy, a little dark.
The creepy doesn't bother me. It's like, God. And this is the summertime where they're not supposed to be depressed because they actually see the sun. Wow.
This is the part that prepares them for 30 days of night.
At least we aren't having, swamp monsters and everybody abusing their wives and such anymore.
Like like I said, the guy didn't leave the war. You know, the war went with him. That's what I was trying to imply is all. Okay. So yeah, you surgically remove that. Fire department shows up, and you guys can hear them trying to deal with this, and it is not a fun fire for them to be putting out.
Oops.
But on the other hand, you guys, it does not seem like the firefighters are being attacked by any kelp.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing, right? It means you won, right?
Sells the swamp gas angle big time.
I'm sorry, were those firefighters yelling help, help, or kelp, kelp? It's hard to tell.
So yeah, you guys are you guys gonna help? And you guys are gonna help the fire department, or are you guys just gonna stay out of their way?
I stay out of there. I'm not a firefighter.
Yeah, once they're there, we'll let the professionals take over, and we'll go back to join Claudia.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You guys
Or
join
at least
Claudia.
I will. I don't want to. Don't
Put the
presume to talk
sniper
for John,
rifles
sorry.
away.
Yeah. Totally innocent. Totally innocent. What is the story you're gonna tell Daisy, by the way? Daisy, I guess actually she finally will wake up when the fire department's there because, you know, like I said, she put headphones on, she's blasting her music, but she will actually eventually come downstairs a bit groggy and go, what's going on?
I think what you were seeing was.
What's that? And looks at the scary dude.
He's
Well,
scary.
it's probably still methane hallucinations. You see the fire? There was a big explosion. Methane's bad.
Roll me a deception. Roll me an insight deception check.
Look, I'm not the guy to be doing this.
Methane. It's methane gas hallucinations.
This is Dan's supposed to be making this roll. I'm just the idea, man. Wow. Well, I'm sure my 10 is going to sell this.
Oh yeah, not selling it. Yeah. Look, actually, and she looks at the kelp covered guy, and yeah, she's terrified. She's screaming. She's completely loses it, and she's like, what is
I
that
thought
thing?
he wasn't. I thought he was only 20% kelp covered before I started cleaning
That's
him in
true.
here.
Oh yeah, you've already cleaned him off. So at this point, he's just got.
I mean, I'm certain there's
stuck on him.
kelp,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, he looks burned. There's kelp, you know, stuck on him, and so she's like, "Oh,
this poor man was in the fire, and in the seaweed was getting him. We went out and pulled him out of it. He needs our help."
So she you know, walks over. You know, she kind of rushes over, but you know, this woman's 73 years old, so she's not exactly totally fit. So she comes over and she says, you go to my hall closet. There's a first aid kit. Hurry, grab it." And she starts to try and basically bandage him up. She says, "I was a nurse back in World War II," and tries to start helping. Sorry.
You were very young.
I guess not World War II. She was
young.
She was okay, not World War II.
Vietnam, maybe?
Yeah,
Vietnam,
go for the
yes,
mom.
Vietnam.
Just put it in the mom.
We'll go Vietnam. She was a nurse
I am
back in
taking
Vietnam.
the Dawn that I bought and
Okay, trying to wash
making a mess all over this poor lady's floor.
Okay, trying to wash the grease off of him.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, we are breaking her garbage disposal with his seaweed, which is very fibrous, and so it's going to absolutely destroy
yeah, it's
that.
broken. And in fact, as she's starting to work on him, and she's wondering why there's why the kelp has sunk into his arms and his chest and the back of his neck and all. You're standing right in front of the garbage disposal as the scene of one of the tentacles seem to still have life, and it shoots up out of the garbage disposal, whips in, and then it just down.
Yeah.
That little cinematic scene behind you, you know, and she almost saw it. She looked, you know, she almost didn't.
Sometimes they come back again. Yep.
So yeah, you guys go grab the first aid kit. You guys can.
Yeah.
Okay. He's unconscious at this point. He's burned, messed up. Looks like basically plant symbiote has bonded with him and it's broken away. What do you guys do now?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
and he
Dan's
does
gonna
look
call
like
it.
Steve now.
Steve
Dan's-
the alcoholic.
I mean, I Dan's gonna call it in, right? And say, you know, we found a swamp monster, a sea monster, an oil-based sea monster. It was malicious and terrorizing the local community. And I'm not sure if the malicious part is the guy or the seaweed, or the guy that he was that was being, that was engulfed in seaweed.
Okay.
So, you know, if they advise that we kind of like secure him and bring him in, which is what he thinks, because until we know what this guy's, you know, psychology is and what his continued connection to this is, I don't think it's safe to let him go anywhere. So what's protocol? Are they going to send a team in? Do they want us to like sneak him off somewhere?
You seem to think we have a lot of budget for that kind of stuff, don't you? No, you are the team. You're team A, you're plan A, you're plan B, and you're the backup team.
All right. Where do you want us to take him, Z? We'll get him there. Just where do you want us to take him?
You sure the rest of it's solved? If you think so, then bring him to Boston, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Okay. All right. So listen, I guess we have to like, you know, stabilize him, bundle him up, and take him back to the cargo plane.
Hey, take him back to the cargo plane.
Should we go to the boat?
I really think we need to.
Well,
I don't want to get
maybe.
infested by seaweed monsters, but this just tells us seaweed stuff infested him, not how it happened.
That's true.
You know, everybody's wrong. They're talking about the killer bunnies and such that are coming in June and such, but we now know July seaweed zombies. That's 2020, everybody.
Seaweed oil zombies.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys got a point. I just feel funny about leaving him. You know, I don't know if he wakes up and has you know, control over stuff again, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So
Maybe we can ask Daisy to keep him sedated.
Yeah, that's right. She could probably do that.
I mean, I ain't leaving her with him. I mean, maybe one of us should stay back. I mean, I can.
Well, I don't know. I think probably the whole team should go.
All right.
I think.
If only we had a ghost accountant that was with us.
I know, right? At the moment, I'm kind of tempted to say that the ghost accountant just showed up and he's going to take care of and watch the
Bill us and tell us everything that we just did wrong.
Yeah.
All the money that you guys lost to API.
You guys didn't fill out Form 14B, Section C, subparagraph of 12 before you caused a local inferno.
All right. Well, maybe we leave him with Daisy then.
Well, how about this? We're going to say he continued, ...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to fade to black here. And then you guys will have a week to think about it, because clearly this is going to be a two episode one.
Episode. That's cool. That's
Cool.
perfect.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Alice. That was fun.
Good session, Alice.
Yeah.
Very good session.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Always good to play with all of you. So.
Hey Blades! Thank you so much for watching another Babies with Knives video. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and come join the conversation in our Discord server.
If you want to keep content like this coming, come check out our Patreon and consider subscribing. All links for this is provided in the description below. And remember, come back next time to get honed!